The SAVE Act has passed the House. This is the voter ID bill. And strangely, every Democrat opposes it, despite the fact the polls show that around 70 to 80% of Democrats are in favor of voter ID. And literally any sane, rational person thinks if you're going to vote, you should have an ID to prove it. But for some reason, it's only the Republicans who really want this. Again, despite the fact that the voter base across the board agrees you need it. So I have a question for everybody. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Why do Democrats not want to have voter ID? Well, the reason they're giving is that it would ban women from voting. Guys, you've already convinced me we need voter ID. You don't need to sell me anymore. I'm kidding. But that's their argument. Democrats are arguing that this would block women from voting. If that were true, conservatives would vote twice as hard and they'd rally substantially more. I'm kidding again. Calm down. It's not correct. It's a nonsense argument. They're saying because you need an ID to vote, this means women who are still using their maiden names but have legally changed it can't vote. And let me just tell you, it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And anybody who's married knows that's also very stupid. And whatever. So we're talking about that. Plus, we got crazy news. Mexican cartel drone incursion near El Paso shutting down the airport. Some conflicting reporting where I think it was CBS reporting that it was actually a balloon. But we've got still more reporting from credible sources that, no, this is a Mexican cartel drone incursion shutting things down. So we're going to talk about that. And then we've got Joe Rogan's reaction to the Epstein email files where he was invited to meet Epstein. One of his guests was trying to get him to meet Epstein, and Rogan was like, "What? Are you nuts?" And he's talking about it, so it's actually pretty interesting. We'll get into all that stuff. Before we do, my friends, we've got a great sponsor for you. It is Cove Pure. You guys like clean drinking water, right? You don't want that gunk and that garbage in your water. The holidays are brutal. Desserts, late nights, skipped workouts. But now that we're in the new year, it's time to reset. Let's make a New Year's resolution and actually give our bodies what they need. It's time to get some good water with Cove Pure. Here's the thing. Everybody jumps into the new year buying new supplements, trying a new diet, workouts. They completely ignore the most important basic thing, water. Even mild dehydration impacts energy, focus, and metabolism. And when you think about all the garbage that's in our water, you're starting behind the curve before you even begin. Cove Pure changes that immediately. Their clear wave technology is certified to remove up to 99.9% of contaminants. Pretty much anything that isn't water. PFAs, microplastic, pharmaceutical residue, and this is actually very impressive, fluoride. Yeah, it's crazy. It all gets removed in the purest water you can get. Here's some of the things that make Cove Pure amazing. It lets you choose the temperature of your water, hot, cold, or warm. It has size presets, making it easy to remember to drink enough water. It makes your water taste so good, pure, clean, no aftertaste, easy to set up, no installation needed, perfect for renters. It looks very nice. My friends, Cove Pure makes it so easy to get pure water with the push of a button. So this year, make a New Year's resolution that sticks. Improve your health with clean water. Right now, you can get $200 off for a limited time if you use my link at covepure.com/Tim. That's COVEPURE.com/Tim. Start the new year right. But don't forget, my friends, we have just launched Dr. Alex Stein's Big Booty Latina Love Potion. Alex Stein is not a doctor. Go to castbrew.com to pick it up. I don't know why I can't say that one fast. Alex Stein is not a doctor. There you go. This is our new medium roast, just in time for Valentine's Day. It will be shipping on the 13th, so we're probably going to miss it, but we went as fast as we could. We've been working on this one for months, to be completely honest. And it is guaranteed to spice things up in the bedroom. It is not guaranteed to spice things up in the bedroom. And I have to give those disclaimers because we put them on there. It's one big gag. It's a great coffee. It's just a medium roast. If you like coffee, I recommend it. But more importantly, we just wanted this to be funny and for you guys to have a good time. On the back of the bag is a beautiful Big Booty Latina holding a bag of tacos. And that's what Alex Stein is all about. So check it out at castbrew.com. Don't forget to also, my friends, smash that like button. Share the show with everyone. Joining us tonight to talk about this and literally everything is Jack Posobiec.
What's up, man? Good to be back in the saddle here at Timcast.
Indeed. After that smashing halftime show you guys put on.
Well,
glad to have you.
Thank you. I mean, it was it was something that was clearly inspired by Charlie. There's no question about it. And look, I may have had, sort of the tweet that started the ball rolling on all this. Clearly team effort, Erica getting behind it and saying, let's do this, and taking a risk, taking a gamble, making a huge bet like that. And look, we knew it would be big. We had no idea it would be this
big.
Like
30 million at this point or more?
We're looking all in with all of our partners, beyond streaming, beyond YouTube, possibly 40, 50.
Ooh, Ooh-wee. So, what's amazing about that is this means advertisers are going to take a look. And it is insane that the NFL decided to create a market opportunity for competition on the Super Bowl. That's what's crazy about it. Let's save it for the show.
Yeah,
There's a lot to talk about, but amazing.
But thank you. No, it was. We thought it would. I thought it would do well. I had no idea we'd have numbers like this.
Super cool.
No.
Me neither. I was at MGM National Harbor, and and so I looked. It's a big sports book. Everybody was gambling, right? And I picked up my phone and I pulled it up, and it was like 3.4 million concurrents right when it started. And I showed people. I was like, holy crap. I gotta say this.
I thought it was a glitch. I thought something was wrong. I was like, no, that can't be like that. There's an M. That should be like a K. But
let me tell you, like, there was an old Asian lady next to me, and when Bad Bunny came on, she was like, what is this? Wow. And I thought it was funny. I'm like, bro, I had a Latino guy in front of me. I had two Asian ladies next to me. I had an old white guy. And everyone agreed, like, we don't know what Bad Bunny is. We're not paying attention, right? But let's save it. Jack, thanks for hanging out. It's going to be fun. Tate Brown's holding it down.
What is going on, Patriots? Tate Brown, you're holding it down. Yeah, like 40 million viewers. Canada has 35 million people. I think the colonization is just very obvious. We just send a viewer over. And one for one.
One for one, yeah.
Tell everybody if they want to see the halftime show, they got to go to Canada, and then we outvote
and it's over.
Everyone.
Yeah, we just cast a vote, and it's over.
Yeah, because everyone's welcome there. No one's illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, exactly. Trump can be installed as king. I think this makes total sense. We cut Quebec loose.
But no, because Trump's mother was Scottish.
True.
Which means that he can claim a right to the throne of Great Britain. And because Canada is a Commonwealth country, boom, King of Canada.
King Charles already in charge. I love it. We're playing a long game.
Long game.
Beautiful.
Long game.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's a story from CNBC. The SAVE Act. House advances Trump-backed voter ID bill. The Save America Act, supported by President Donald Trump, would require proof of citizenship to register to vote and a photo ID at the ballot box. The legislation would make it harder to vote, Democrats and voting rights groups warn, and has been the subject of a pressure campaign from the White House, congressional GOP hardliners, and right-wing influencers. I can't even with this. Now that the bill has advanced out of the House, it has slim odds of passing in the Senate, where 60 votes are needed to overcome a filibuster. Let me just say this. The Republicans need to just get rid of the filibuster. Just goodbye. And I also want to stress this. The fact that CNBC is putting in these caveats of Democrats say it'll make it harder to vote. Yes. First of all, good. More importantly, shut up. It's voter ID. Okay. When I go to a gas station to buy a 40 of King Cobra, they ask for my ID. Okay. And that's the least consequential thing I might do.
Tim, you drink a lot of King Cobra?
All the time, bro.
He's off 2 right now.
Oh, dude. Is that still around? They still have King Cobra?
Don't look at me. I don't
when I was 18, that's all we would drink.
Dude.
Odie's a king.
Odie's?
And I'm 18. You're not supposed to drink, so I recommend against it. But it was like $1.40 for a 40. It was guaranteed to get drunk on the weekend.
In my day.
They used to have 40s for $1. For $1.50, you get a 40. No wonder the birth rate's so low.
The show was already off the rails.
Yeah, birth rate would skyrocket if we got the price.
And it was
down.
It was a
$40s,
joke in my community, in my neighborhood with all my friends, because it was so dirt cheap. But we were like, bro, you could panhandle, get drunk on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's party. And you go to somebody can I get $1 for the bus? I'm going to go buy King Cobra.
How far
Don't do that. Anyway, the point is, when you walk in to do some of the most inconsequential things you can think of, they ask for your ID. In fact, some people get asked for ID literally just walking down the street sometimes. Just nothing. And then they're like, would you like to have a say in who our government is going to blow up overseas? Yes. Don't need an ID for that.
Well, you look at the documentation, so real ID, right? If you want to fly in this country, if you want to have right of mobility to be able to fly on an airplane, you need either a passport, which requires all sorts of identification to get, or one of the real IDs, which is also requiring birth certificates. And by the way, if you got married, you have to show your marriage certificate, which this is crazy, by the way, because my wife... I tested this out. I married her. She changed her name to my name. This was all a big voter ID test. And then I was like, okay, were you able to figure out how to vote? She figured it out.
Yeah.
She totally figured it out.
Really?
somehow. So that's
A
one.
woman figuring
That's
out.
one. We got one.
Very impressive.
We got one.
Dude, it's crazy. You go to the library and you want to use the computer there. You got to have an ID. But then to use the computer at a voting precinct, you don't need one. It makes zero sense. The homeless people going to the library to jerk off, like you need ID for that.
I love.
You don't need one to jerk off at a voting. I don't get it. I don't know what's
It was a funny post on X. They were like, if who said this? If voter ID
Tate,
is,
no gooning in the voting booth.
This country's
Tate,
tough,
Tate,
dude.
no.
they do that.
Stop
in the
it.
UK. If
Only in Canada.
voter ID is racist, IDs are racist. Right? If the idea is it's racist to ask someone for an ID to vote, then it's racist to ask someone for an ID ever. But you know what the thing is? That's actually what they're trying to do. Right? Look at the illegal immigration issue. If I'm walking down the street, I'm going to be completely honest, and the libertarians are going to start screaming and banging on the floor. If I'm walking down the street and a cop comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, sir, you match your description. Do you have an ID on you?" I'd be like, "Yeah. Here you go. Is there something going on?" That's all that happened.
Well, that was the whole thing with this DoorDash driver down in the Nancy Guthrie thing last night.
Oh, he didn't give his ID?
No. He gave his ID, but it was the description. So he matched the description, and they said that he had worked in Tucson, and I guess somebody had called in and said, "Oh, the eyes," because you could see the mask, and that was all it was. And they went to a judge and were able to get a search warrant for his house just based on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't like the idea of like cops stopping everybody and like papers, please, but it's not that big a deal for a cop to be like, we're looking for somebody with an ID. Like, here you go. I'm not going to answer any questions. Appreciate it. Thanks. Have a nice day.
I saw a list of how many.
That's racist.
I saw a list of the countries that require an ID to vote. It's like 100 of them. Like it is the most normal thing in the developed world to say we've got to see an ID to make sure that you are who you are. And that you're eligible to vote. The only reason to not, and everybody's been saying this, ubiquitously on X, but the only reason to not is because you're looking for ways to cheat. You're looking for ways.
It's so obvious.
Completely obvious.
Well, considering that even Democrat voters are like, we should have voter ID.
Right.
Everybody agrees with it. And the Democrat politicians are like, no, you don't understand. We'll never win again. I mean,
You don't understand. It's a wedge issue. Oh, I didn't know.
Did you? I just.
Well, but
I
women. Wait, there was a TikTok. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he had that line about like black people can't get online or something? They don't know how to use the internet. You remember, he said this something,
it was Kathy
right?
Hochul as well. Yeah.
And then someone there was a black TikToker. And he made this video.
Oh, is that where he's bouncing?
Where he's just like bouncing up and down and like smashing his
that was
laptop.
a Kathy
He's like-
Hochul video.
he's poking- yeah,
Kathy
yeah.
Hochul.
Oh, was it Kathy? I thought it was Biden.
She was like,
Was it
"There's
Hochul?
kids in the Bronx that don't even know what a computer is."
He's like jumping around and like
That
banging on
was
it.
sorry. That
crazy.
was really funny.
Is that real?
No. Oh,
I thought
okay,
it
hold on.
was because it sounds like something Biden would say. To be fair,
This is what pisses me off. A black
he's like
a black man jumping up and down like he's a monkey, smashing the computer, and that was like there's nothing racist about doing that. He was criticizing their racism. Trump puts out this video where they put the faces of all these Democrats on animals from The Lion King.
It was The Lion King, yeah.
And then everyone's like, Trump's a racist. And you know what pissed me off? Media Matters took my quote and ran with it as if I'm racist. I said it's not racist. Not every depiction of a stereotype is racist. The intention matters. My point is, could you imagine if it's like, hey guys, for lunch day at the office, I'm ordering a whole bunch of Buffalo Wild Wings, but not for the black employees because that would be racist. It's just, did you believe what Tim Pool did? He ordered a bunch of fried chicken and then he has black employees eating them. I'm like, yes, because everybody loves it. It's not racist. Okay. Someone making a meme video where there's a bunch of Democrats on the faces of animals does not mean that Trump intentionally depicted the Obamas only as apes and then insulted them as if they were. That would be racist. And this is the reality we get. So anyway, I bring that up only because we point out, as Kathy Hochul says, black people don't know how to use computers. A black person made a video of him pretending to be like a monkey confused by a computer. No outrage. Come on. Everyone thought it was funny.
He was pounding it.
It could have been real. I don't know. Maybe he really hadn't seen a computer before. We documented it.
But somehow he got on TikTok. So
You know what I really love about this narrative that women don't know how to vote is
so true.
I think we should roll with it. I think we should just say to the Democrats, you are right. Women aren't that smart, right? And that's a problem. Maybe they shouldn't vote then. If the argument from Democrats is that women don't know how to change their names, which is like a standard thing every woman does when they get married, then
every good woman.
Every good woman.
Ooh.
Some hyphenate.
Spice.
That's the other point, too. You don't have to change your name. So, like, this would be that women can't vote. No, because conservative women definitely want to vote, and liberal women aren't changing their names. So they can have a nice day.
Yeah, what if the women get hurt at the voting booth? I would hate if that happened.
That's a really great point. They might prick themselves on the pen and get an infection.
Yeah, break
and then
a
it's
nail.
amputation.
Yeah.
And then gangrene. We should just make sure the women aren't
the funniest
near
thing.
the voting booths.
The funniest thing about this too, though, is that when you look at actual demographics in just any post-election poll, any exit poll, you're going to see married women typically tend to vote more Republican to begin with.
Yes,
And
but
so the
that's
point
correlation, not causation.
Perhaps, but
Conservative women are more likely to get married.
Well, because they're more like, of course. But my point being is, so if married women were to the detriment for voter ID, then conservatives actually thought that was a problem. Then wouldn't we be the ones shooting ourselves in the foot if we're for voter ID? Like, wouldn't it benefit the liberals to have voter ID then? Because it would disproportionately affect conservative women.
Yeah,
right.
Arguably,
Right, but they don't. But they don't. But it's like, you guys, your own argument, even within your own frame, doesn't make any sense.
Of course,
because it would benefit you.
But that's
if for some reason this were true.
But that's why I'm saying we got to roll with it. So if you ever debate a liberal, like I'd love to see, like Michael Knowles debate Harry Sisson again, and he can say, you know what, Harry, I agree. Women aren't smart enough to figure out how to vote, so maybe we should consider that. Can you say that for everyone publicly that women can't figure this out? Say it.
Right.
right.
And then he's going to be like, well, of course they can figure it out. Oh, so there's no problem with voter ID then.
So Scott Adams used to talk about this, and I don't know if you've seen the whole controversy with AI Scott Adams. It's like it's huge back and forth thing.
What is it?
Well, let me say the first part for that, where he used to say that the way you can defeat bad arguments is through like aggressive agreement with them.
Yeah.
Just aggressively agree with everything and then push it as far as possible.
Well, that's a standard tactic called rapport extreme turn.
Right.
So we've explained it on the show. 101. Here's a lesson for you guys. Whenever you're trying to persuade someone, and Scott Adams was a master of this stuff.
Of course.
You can't approach them as an enemy. You have to approach them as a friend. So that's the first step is rapport. So when someone approaches you with a statement, you agree with it. They say, the SAVE Act is sexist. It's going to disproportionately affect women.
You're right.
Your response is, you are so right. These maggots are trying to take women's right to vote away. Now you have rapport. This lowers their defenses, and they say, oh, okay, this person's a liberal. They're like me. You then offer them the extreme, which is, women just aren't smart. Their IQs are lower than men's. Men are smarter. And the Republicans, they're trying to take away women's right to vote because they know women are just generally not that intelligent, relative to men, of course. Liberal can't agree with that. So now you've entered their argument on their side and then made a point in their argument they cannot agree with, creating an extreme. Then when they say, well, I don't know about all of that, you give them what's called the turn, which is a solution in your direction where you say, okay, well, I guess you're right. I mean, women are smart enough to figure out how to vote even with an ID. I agree. So once again, you're agreeing with them, but you've inverted their point by pushing them too far.
So good.
Yeah.
That was we had this back in, I want to say it's 2020 or 2021 when like peak woke era. My church at one point, for whatever crazy reason, had put out this email, and they were saying, oh, we're going to be setting up like a racism council at the church. And I was like,
pro or anti-racist?
So I was like, it was like a racial justice. It was like a racial justice.
Like, we're going to be
council.
more racist this year.
And so
we're going to put a council together.
And I remember I was like talking to my buddy, and I was like, is there like a racial problem at the church? Like,
no, it's
are
all white
people not sitting? Yeah, right.
White people.
And we are not. We're certainly not. And like, are we not sitting close enough together? But then I was like, at the same time, I was like, you know what? The best thing we do here is like, so I volunteered to lead it.
Nice. Very good.
I want to lead the race. And I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to create all these rules and like strictly enforce them that if you're like a white family and you're not sitting close enough to a family of color, like there's going to be a problem.
Like
I know how I'd come out with like a yardstick and be like, oh, this is not close enough.
Bro, you missed an opportunity. The further you are away, the more you have to tithe.
That's right. Yeah, there's going to be monetary penalties. They're going to be also, and it ended up not going that far, and then they just kind of stopped talking about it. But I was like, I kept telling them I wanted to volunteer to run it, and
I want to be the head of the racism council.
Pro or anti?
Pro or anti?
Yes,
I want to be involved.
I want to be in there.
I'm just happy to be
Wait,
here.
hold on. To be completely honest, anti-racism and pro-racism are very much the same thing.
They're very much the same,
explained in a different way.
Right.
So when the left is like, this was the woke versus racist comedy that Ryan Long and Danny Polishchuk did. Basically, You have the woke person say, we have a problem with racism in this, in this church. So we need to give black people their own private space away from white people. And then the pro-racist guy says, you're right.
Yep.
Completely agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Like when they were doing the dorms, they were like making the black only dorms a few years ago.
Yeah, isn't that
And then
crazy?
you had like a section of people who were like, that's a pretty good idea.
It's kind of crazy
We
to
do
think
Indian
that,
only dorm? Is that a possibility?
it's kind of crazy that they're discovering racism from first principles, right?
Exactly.
Did you see that there's like hundreds of thousands of fake degrees being given out in India?
I saw that.
Oh, God.
I did see that.
Basically what's happened, and maybe we should pull this up in a bit, but there's fake degrees being given out, and then these Indians will apply for high-level visas to the United States with a fake degree.
Dude.
So we're bringing in people who are doctors, and they're not doctors.
Is India the scam capital of the world nowadays?
It's up there.
Is it just
There's a saying in hacker culture, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And I'm just going to refer to them as a hacker culture.
Yeah, they're try
Back in
hard.
the system. Well,
India's overperforming. That's the issue.
well, to throw it out because I did mention it. So the controversy right now over AI Scott Adams and the estate is totally against it. They've asked them to stop. However, we don't know exactly who it is. There's this AI Scott Adams show which has been running, and people were, I shared it once because
Oh, they're like making videos of him or something?
well, so it's like they're keeping the show going. And he had said
What?
number of times that he had wanted his, his likeness to be used publicly. And he said a couple of times, like many times over the years, that I want to be the first AI entity that goes on in perpetuity. And so someone actually took him up on it. However, towards the end, when he knew his health was fading, he did also come out and say, I'm not sure if I want to do this anymore because I don't know if AI is ready for it. And so he said, maybe we just do something where it's like a Scott Jr., a son of Scott, but it's not actually me. And so there's this huge controversy over it because the estate has asked him to stop, but the guy is going to those other, permissions when he gave them on air and saying, well, look, he said this so many times. And so what's crazy though
Is it on X or something? Or?
It's, if you just AI Scott Adams on X and no spaces or anything. And what's crazy though is the guy has the AI Scott Adams debating whether or not he should exist.
Oh gosh.
And like,
Is this it right here?
yeah. And it's very realistic. Wow. It's very, very realistic.
Dazzling coalition of sharp-eyed skeptics and dawn-patrolling idea warriors. Welcome to the radiant hub of ruthless clarity, the prime locale where incisive logic, Steving Joe, and a healthy skepticism for the absurd come together like a well-orchestrated conspiracy. And if you want to rev this ride up until your razor-tuned synapses...
Bro, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm getting my chickens. I'm gonna get I'm just gonna wear some leathers that I get off a deer. I'm gonna make some deer hide leathers. I'm gonna get a big walking stick and I'm gonna walk through the field. I'm just gone. No more of this. Technology has gone too far. And goodbye.
We probably could have had this a lot earlier. Do you remember it was like literally 6 or 7 years ago at this point where someone perfectly modulated Jordan Peterson's voice?
Yeah.
And
What do you mean
came
we did
out.
that?
Yeah, well, he came out and he was like, "Oh, this is unacceptable. Please take this down. This is terrifying." That's kind of crazy.
Well, I remember that on this show, there was an AI voice a voice replicator of Joe Rogan. The first time this was ever done, it was a university that released this model where you could type something in and make Joe Rogan say it. And then I think they disabled it right away because they were like, okay, this is bad. And then a bunch of companies came out using that model, and now you can literally clone anybody.
Yeah.
I will say this. For whatever reason, they have a hard time cloning my voice and cadence. I don't know why. It never sounds like me. But Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Donald Trump, Ben Shapiro, it nails these voices.
Yeah. Well, it was 11 Labs was the big one, and then I think they just kept getting sued, so they took away the ability. You have to like verify that it's your voice.
Oh,
but if you can
really?
if you can do a killer like Jordan Peterson, you can verify with your imitation and still keep the voice. Don't ask how I know that.
I actually know that because
Well,
because I was using 11 Labs for some projects both before and after that that thing came out, and so I was just messing around with it, and I think we did like what did we do? we did a Charlie Kirk one, and I just had, and this obviously before everything happened, and I just had Charlie saying like funny stuff, and then I was sending it to him to just mess with him.
Yeah.
But we were just doing it as a proof of concept, and he thought it was hilarious. He's like, "When did I say that? I never said that." And but then we explained it to him. He's like, "This is really cool," and he was super into it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "We can do." He's like, "This could be a time maximizer. Like, I could type something, it could record it.
It's like,
whatever."
Well, so, guys,
but I didn't have to verify it.
It was all these things we were supposed to be doing with AI that were going to unlock so much productivity. But when me and my friends got our hands on 11 Labs, we were just threatening each other with Ben Shapiro's voice. It's like, hypothetically speaking, if I were to kill you right now.
Have you've seen all the David Attenborough's
I
mean, you can go to YouTube and watch all kinds of videos. Like, there's a bunch of videos that are just talking about like space or physics or whatever. It's David Attenborough. Voices.
There's the one where it explains memes with David Attenborough.
But here's my problem with it: that it can't replicate my speech patterns, cadence, or sound of my voice. Because if it could, I could just have Tate do everything for me forever, and I could just leave with my chickens, and he could literally just go on Grok and be like, write a Tim Pool script. Then he can upload it to 11 Labs and click send, and then it would just be a video of me every morning.
We should be doing a Korean language model.
Not only that,
with
Tim,
English phonetic sounding words.
And that's been around forever too, where you can. We've done this actually. We took one of my morning segments and converted it into all these different languages.
You don't have.
But here's the thing:
I have that for my show.
YouTube does it already.
You don't have to do any of that.
YouTube does it already.
You can have a Moltbot, the AI agents. You can have one do that all for you every day. Just tell it, hey, this is what I want you to do. Give it the passwords to the YouTube channel, and it'll go ahead and generate the video.
I have that for my show now. So we have an Espanol, like Real America's Voice Espanol. So my show comes out in Spanish every day.
But
now.
YouTube does it automatically. That's the thing. Wow. So we were actually looking at AI services because we were like, hey, if we do, Timcast Spanish, Timcast French or whatever, it might not be a ton of viewership, but viewers are viewers. And then we actually got some samples because they're automated services. You just upload it and press go, and it's done. And it's literally, my mouth is moving in Spanish. And I'm like, hola, mi amigos, bienvenidos. And then we decided not to do it because YouTube automatically integrated AI.
So they can just click it.
Yeah, apparently now like YouTube has integrated language stuff.
Well, the one other one, and of course he said no, but when Bannon went to jail in 2024, we pointed out that we could create an AI Bannon to do War Room while he was he adamantly opposed. I mean, he hates AI. He's like, it's all the Antichrist. He doesn't want it at all. It's all demonic. He's actually, I believe, if I remember correctly, all AI, even Suno, is banned from War Room. He will not allow anything.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to launch Timcast AI as a channel and just see if it works. I'm going to be like, hey, look, your choice. You want to listen to it or not?
2 hours of just AI IRL.
Well, I told ChatGPT, so I don't write scripts.
And then it gets better views.
Business.
And then what you do is you use a video generator and you just say, I got to be honest, you could get one of these agents like Phil's talking about and say, I need a 20-minute long video based on this script, show examples and articles. It will pull them. It will do it for you. Like, we're there, bro. It's now. We were screwing around with Project Genie earlier, and we made the ICE Agent Minneapolis video game.
Yep.
We literally, you can't beat the protesters or anything like that.
Tim tried to give him a sword.
I did.
A wooden sword.
A boken.
Boken.
And it didn't work. It did not give
Did not give
I
him
wanted
the
the ICE agent to run around because it's just wood. Those aren't familiar. A boken is a long wooden katana-like instrument. They use them in Anaheim on horseback. Not
Anaheim.
In Anaheim.
What's going on in Anaheim?
So I was down there for a protest like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And there are cops on horseback with boken, and they're riding around and they're wielding swords. They're wooden, though.
Right.
So they hurt. But,
Okay. You could go
Yeah, like-
How much did they hurt, Tim?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get hit by one, but I did see. No, I'm kidding. So I asked ChatGPT. I don't write scripts. I just talk, right? I said, write a script about AI advancement in the style of Tim Pool. And it didn't really get it right because it started with, all right, so here's what's happening. I never do that. I always just press record and I go, over the last few years, artificial intelligence has just improved. It's accelerated. And I don't mean marginal upgrades. I mean exponential shifts in capability. Systems that once struggled to complete basic sentences are now writing code, generating realistic video, analyzing legal documents, diagnosing medical images, and operating autonomous systems in real time. In the early 2020s, AI models were mostly reactive tools. You give them a prompt, they produce text, that was it. Now we're seeing multimodal systems, models that can this is crazy. I don't need, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go in 11 Labs and I'm gonna be like, I'm Tim Pool, here's my voice, hit me. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna be like, write a 20-minute long script. And then here's the issue. There are channels already doing this. They'll generate 40-minute long news reports. They'll take like 10 news articles, load them into an AI and say, convert these stories into a single news podcast. Then they'll do one of these fake person generators and they'll get like a young looking woman and she'll just be sitting there and it looks like she's in a bedroom and she'll be saying like, hey guys, so recently Mexico announced that they were going to resist any effort from the Trump administration and then they upload it. These videos get like 800 views. That's nothing, but they're uploading tens of thousands of them per week. And they're getting an estimated, there was one video analysis I saw, someone posted the back end on their channel is 150K. And they did because they were trying to market their service saying, I can teach you how to make this money off YouTube. The problem is, just like with X, it means all of the YouTubers' revenue is dropping dramatically. This is going to result in a world where only ubiquity sponsors are going to make money. So let me explain. So for us on Timcast IRL, a large portion of the money we make comes from programmatic advertising. This is an advertiser goes on Google Ads, says, I want to run an ad. Google then says, let's put this ad on a series of videos. If these people are spam blasting massive amounts of videos, the ad dollars going into Google will always be around the same amount. It probably grows a little bit as the market's shifting, but with this exponential increase in AI content, the share is being spread out. So where we used to make X amount of dollars, we're now going to make X minus 20% because the share is being divvied up.
Okay, so it's like instead of making $200 a spot, you make $1 200 times.
Well, no. My point is,
they are.
If I make a video that gets 250,000 views, it'll probably get about $1,500 to $2,000. Okay. Now that the way it used to be was that would probably be $5,000. But because there's so much competition, an advertiser's video is going to appear on 10 times more videos. The share of money in the pool to go out is diminished.
Right.
On X, they had this problem. When X first launched payments, we were swimming in dough. It was amazing. I had one period where I got like 13 grand in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Just from me tweeting stupid things.
You don't tweet a lot.
I don't tweet a lot, and sometimes I tweet stupid things. And then what happened?
Not just sometimes.
Indians got on X, created a bunch of accounts, paid for verification, and then started mass replying to each other. They would say, good day, good day, good day. How are you? I'm good. And you? I'm fine. And the replies are what generates revenue. All of a sudden, people noticed their payments were dropping dramatically. People then found this network, complained to X, and said, these are fake accounts, not making real content or engagement, and they're pulling money out of the pool for actual creators. X said, okay, we're going to fix this. The problem we have right now, YouTube needs to ban AI-generated content like this. There are places where it's good. Like there's that YouTube channel, shout out to Skybrowse, who made that Elon Musk song. That's great work. He used AI video and AI music to make a great music video, and that's good, and he deserves to get paid for that. But taking news articles, AI generating a 40-minute news podcast, and then spam blasting them on X, that should be banned. Got to be banned.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other things that I've thought of as well, and I've tweeted this a few times, is look, X is a global site, of course, but not all companies are global, and obviously consumers are not global, right? Customers are not global. Customers are a physical person who lives in a physical place. So wouldn't it make sense then that if you're an advertiser, if you're trying to target a certain market, you're not trying, and you don't want your ad going to different countries, you could choose obviously where you want your ad to run, but then also that if your traffic is from another country, then shouldn't the advertising go out at the rate of, the market rate in that country, right, versus your own country?
I want to pull up this video. My friends, have you seen the new movie, Brad Pitt?
Oh, I just watched it the other day. It was so good.
It's so good. It's about Brad Pitt. He's friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the movie.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
Wow. Okay, Brad Pitt is not friends with Epstein, as far as I know, but this is nuts. This video is absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm going to play it again.
What's even crazier about it is that the script doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like the city's destroyed or whatever. Like there's rubble everywhere.
Like the Russia up. Like why would that be? I mean, you could write a little better than this.
I noticed Tom Cruise's height is oscillating. Sometimes he's like,
how
much
did they
shorter
make
than Brad
this?
Pitt, and then sometimes he's the same.
Well, but that's also accurate because it does the same thing in real movies.
Bro, have you seen the video of the old Indian guy, the old bald Indian guy saying, my wife thinks I'm a successful businessman, but I actually use AI to make an OnlyFans with 1.3 million. And he's in a suit and he's going like this. And then it shows the AI rendered video of a young girl in a skirt dancing.
That's beast mode.
It's not a
That's
filter.
beast
It's called
mode.
replacement AI.
Yeah.
So here's the crazy
Do
thing.
you even need that filter anymore? Like, I feel like you can, at this point, probably just type in a prompt and get whatever you want.
There's a rendering time involved. It doesn't. So I made a video.
Okay.
So did you see the video of the guy in his car screaming, "It's killing!"
Yeah.
So I took that and then I took a picture of Adam Johnson, the lectern guy, and I made him doing it, and it was hilarious. I didn't post it. I just thought it was funny. But again, for all you know, that these young Gen Z guys, those girls they're gooning to, are guys.
Right.
That's a dude, man.
That's a
Gosh,
dude.
What if
man.
my girlfriend is actually an old Indian guy?
We got to show this one.
Realize.
We got to show this one, guys.
But this one's not AI.
Hold on.
though. I thought we were talking about AI.
Oh, yeah?
I remember when this happened.
See, but here's the important thing about this. People are not going to know what's real. 20 years from now, some little kid's going to be like, this never happened.
Shredder is in the house. Find him over the barricade. He's a radical rat. Yeah, you're not go to sleep, bitch. Go to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves.
That world's most fearsome fighting team.
Again, this is not AI. I remember December 14th, 91. I was watching.
So here, look at this. Look at this. Premium Live Event Championship press conference. Like, it's getting text right. The crazy thing is, again, what happens in 20 years?
That's actually incorrect, though, because they were not called premium live events in the 90s. They were called pay-per-views.
Well, but sure. But the point is,
But it's, yeah.
there's going to be a kid who's born 5 years from now. He's going to be 15 years old, and he's going to see this video. And it's not just this one video. There's going to be millions of them. He's going to be like, I don't know which of these is real. There's going to be no history anymore. They're going to be like, the Ninja Turtles, weren't they from the 90s? Yes, but they never did WWF. Well, bro, I got a video of it. So it's literally going to be a kid being like, nothing is real, everything's fake.
Tim, what if they're not rendering things from AI? What if they're actually just going into different versions of the
alternate pasts, yeah.
alternate pasts, and bringing the videos forward?
Well, what I said was,
how would you know?
if energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changed, then when we imagine in our minds a story, we are not imagining, we're actually seeing into an alternate reality. The energy already exists. We can't create it. The patterns of those systems already exist. So this Goku versus Monkey D. Luffy actually happened in some alternate reality with his mushy fist. Here's the crazy thing. Let me pull up something else.
That one's Seed Dance, right?
Check this out, guys. This is Google Genie. Okay. I typed in downtown Minneapolis in winter during a protest, and the character is an ICE agent wielding a bokken. We already did make one version of this. Let's just try it again and see what happens. Google Genie is a third-person video game generator. You're allowed to play it for about 60 seconds, but you can only jump. You can walk, run, or jump. I will tell you this. The capabilities they have behind the scenes are probably 1,000-fold. Google probably can already behind the scenes render GTA 6. They can probably literally go into it and just say, make GTA 6. Look at this. Let's go.
And then do you have like the paid version, or is this just?
It's only for the highest tier of people who pay.
Okay.
Abolish ICE.
But even still, I mean, and this is the worst.
Wait, he
it's
got
ever
the
gonna
sign
look.
stuck to him.
Stole the sign.
He stole his sign.
Sign thief.
And the guy just vanished. He Thanos snapped away the protester.
But
sign got stuck to
I
his
mean,
head.
think about it though. Think about the amount of people and time it would take just a couple of years ago to make something like this.
All right, we're gonna do this in real time. What should we make?
I don't know. Make RoboCop.
Consider copyright infringement.
Oh yeah.
RoboCop might work, but where? Okay, RoboCop.
Fighting
Wait,
dinosaurs.
we need. Wait, we need. No, wait. I want it at the Super Bowl
That's probably going to get copyright infringement blocked.
at a football game.
I just did Jurassic Park character RoboCop. The weird thing is
Jurassic Park isn't copyright.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The weird thing is some things are blocked and some aren't.
Weird.
I put Goku in Springfield,
Yeah.
and he was running around in Bart Simpson. There we go. Look at this.
There we
Oh,
go.
there's Springfield,
Look at that.
Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
How long did that take? 10 seconds.
I blinked.
Additional 10 seconds to render the world. It might still kick us back. We're halfway there. It might say no.
I want him fighting cyborg dinosaurs too. By the way,
You could do this.
we need
RoboCop is
there we
right.
go.
robo dinos.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Can he jump? Look at that.
Yep.
Look at
There we
this,
go.
dude.
There's the gun.
Wow.
RoboCop and
Can we get
Jurassic Park.
RoboCop?
Can you go through the gate?
Of course.
RoboCop deporting illegals? That'd be good. We could use them, honestly.
Robo Bovine.
So they give you 60 seconds in whatever rendered world you get, and then you can save the video of the gameplay. Now, I can tell you this. They could, if they wanted to, give us the ability to add fighting and a whole bunch of other mechanisms. The reason I know is because not only can you make a game where you're RoboCop, you can also make driving games, you can make flying games, and I rendered Planet Namek with the character Goku. That's from Dragon Ball Z. And I had Goku running around and he jumped. I then accidentally pressed spacebar again, and Goku did
Whoa.
not his face. He almost started flying, and it showed a burst of energy come out of Goku as if it could have done it, but then it stopped him, froze, and then errored. It was like, I can't do this. All right, so what should we do next?
Darth Vader fighting Care Bears.
Oh, you can't do that.
No?
Because we're not fighting, we're not telling stories, we're choosing an environment and a character to put him in. So we can try Darth Vader, but I bet it's going to say screw off. Darth Vader in Care Bear Land. What was their place called?
I forget.
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
I have a feeling Darth Vader's way.
No, there
too
was a
obvious.
name for it. Was it Dreamland or something like that?
Darth Vader, I have a feeling it's going to be like, nice try, bro.
Darth Vader.
I tried Mickey Mouse. It didn't work. Homer Simpson worked.
Darth Vader outside federal building in
It
Portland.
said no, Darth Vader.
Saying no.
No Darth Vader.
It was in Care-a-Lot.
Care a lot.
Care-a-lot?
Care-a-Lot.
Oh god.
Not like it's like a play on Camelot.
I did the Death Star. Let's do King Arthur. King Arthur. The Death Star worked. I did. What did I do? I think I did like Han Solo and the Death Star, and it worked. Yeah. Wild.
So we could actually, what you're saying is we could actually use this to do the one thing that Disney would never do.
Fix Star Wars.
Put all of the
Got it.
original characters back together
Okay, that's not quite right.
once.
No.
He's on a destroyer staring at the Death Star.
I mean, it's pretty
It's close.
You know,
pretty close.
He's on his way
Star
to the Death
Destroyer.
Star.
He's on his way. Yeah.
he's on his way. No.
Muting.
Third party
Nope,
content won't
not
do
doing
it.
it.
Gosh.
I have an idea. Let's try the Holy Land. What year do we want to do? 800 BC or 800 AD or
Crusades.
yeah? What year is 1200 AD?
Sure, 1200.
1200 AD. And Templar Knight. I think of this. Someone punched in the coordinates of the crucifixion, and they put the coordinates in what year was it? Was it 33 AD? Or was it 30?
The first
Well,
crusade was
it-
1096, but
1096. Thank you. It technically, it would be 33, but some people say the Bible is like, or the dates are slightly off.
They put it in with the coordinates.
Like 29
and
AD.
and it had a
maybe?
person walking around with the crucifixion.
there you go.
It rendered it.
And it rendered. Wow.
Let's see if it does
This
it. I
just
think it
makes
will.
me think of
This is just
Assassin's.
Dearborn.
It looks like Assassin's Creed.
Right? Yeah, it is.
We do.
I tried
Templar
doing a
and
bunch of
Dearborn.
Fallout stuff at Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, Templar and Dearborn. That'd be awesome.
There we
Need
go.
it.
Wait, did you put him on a horse?
No. Look at that. The horse jumps.
There you go.
Look at that. Now it's trotting. Dude, this is nuts.
Just GWAT veterans.
Video games are done, bro.
Hey,
Did you guys see that game Relooted? Did y'all see Relooted?
Was that?
Yes.
It's the game where you play black people stealing stuff.
Oh.
What?
I'm not kidding. It's about in the future, a group of black people are angry that white people stole their artifacts, so they go on a heist to steal it all from museums. It had 57 players at peak on today's launch. So my point is, everyone's been complaining about how bad video games are. The video game industry is cooked. Well, here you go.
And they had this original idea game where black people steal.
Yeah.
Wow, you've really blown. I can't imagine something like that.
But the funny thing is, they thought they were being like not racist by making it. And it's like, guys,
It was stealing back artifacts, or they
we have
were
a proposal.
no, it's not.
Walk with me here.
That's technically what they said, but they mention in the story it's private collections.
Oh,
Meaning
okay.
it's not government-held museum stuff. There were people who legitimately bought something, and they were stealing it from them too.
stealing it. Nice.
Okay, so Tate has a request: Dearborn, Michigan, and Templar Knight. That's what you wanted?
Yeah, I think this could be good.
I don't
We
think
need
Gemini
this.
has the emotional intelligence to understand why it should not render this, but you know, it's
Or why
going
it should.
to. It's going to be like, I don't see anything wrong with that. Watch, it says no. That'd be hilarious.
There is nothing wrong with it.
It's very much needed. I would
I think it's more offensive.
Put him on a horse is what's interesting. I didn't say to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You can also you could put the horses flying, and then you can fly around.
Right.
It's wild.
Pegasus.
Pegasus. All right.
Black Hawk
He's,
down, but Minneapolis. That could be all the smallies.
That's what I was saying.
behind
you're
enemy
gonna-
lines.
You're going to see indie movies or indie games, indie
Yep.
movies. You're going to see.
This was my prediction. Here we go. I got it.
There you
They have
go.
Arabic script on the.
Do they really?
storefronts,
No,
yeah.
they don't.
Perfect.
No, that's just the AI script.
My prediction.
Chicken scratch.
My prediction is that video games and movies are going to be like following someone on X. You're going to be like, oh, bro, Tate makes the best games. No, look, that's Arabic, bro. That's Arabic, dude.
that's
Oh,
definitely
this is a
Arabic.
point of view.
Perfect.
Trump third term. Trump third
Will he
term.
jump?
We finally make.
I don't like it when he's walking because they usually don't jump if they do.
Look how scared the locals are. They know it's game time.
Sometimes the controls don't work perfectly.
American.
Is that someone in a burqa, like straight ahead?
It might be.
Let's go. It's.
The faces are always really weird, though.
Yeah, but the helmet makes sense.
Look, it's
Full face.
So that's Arabic. That's AI Arabic.
Clearly Arabic.
Oh, look at this.
Dude, ice,
Look at the lights red and green at the same time.
ice budget's crazy. I don't know if it's this good.
The ice
I
budget.
imagine.
Yeah, they're sending out Templar Knights. Dude.
Stephen
know, a
Miller.
shield
What?
and sword
Stephen
probably-
Miller.
What
What was this?
Shield and the sword is probably cheaper than all the flashbangs and bear spray.
Trump
they're
administrator's like,
using.
we were a little heavy-handed on the response.
You know what?
to
Let's
sending
try
out
this.
Templar
Let's
You
Knights.
need the aluminum for.
Let's try one more thing before we actually
WTF,
go
I
back
should
to
have
talking about
trusted
news.
the plan.
It'll probably won't let me do this. Dearborn, Michigan. Let's see. Major fire damage. Templar Knight running. Let's see if that one works. Whenever I try to make post-apocalyptic scenes or whatever, it just always says no.
Really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because I was trying to render Fallout. I did Simpsons. I said take the original. I said the original Legend of Zelda on NES in 3D with Link, and it made it. And it's not like a one for one of the map, but it looks like all of the same.
But that didn't trigger copyright though. So
Nope.
it's kind of hit or miss.
Looks like this one worked.
Destroyed.
Let's go.
You got to screenshot that one.
Pretty realistic.
At the
pretty
beginning,
realistic.
Welcome to Dearborn.
Welcome to Dearborn.
They've even blown up their own sign.
My presumption was the Templar Knight did it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Look at this.
He's an EOD
He's
tech.
here. Ice
Yo, give
deployment.
me a jump. Nah, he won't jump.
No jumping.
This is why you trust the plan, everyone.
Does Dearborn, Michigan look like
They'll
this?
firebomb
Yes.
Dearborn?
Yes.
This is very glossy.
Yo, this is
Rosy.
wild.
This is the Kenosha edition.
Kenosha. Bro, should I do it?
No. No.
We're going to save that one for the after show.
That's in the after show.
the after show.
Oh man.
We retconned the
No. Well, I mean that's just a replay.
Yo, look at this.
We'll go there.
And then once it's done, you can save the video, which is higher res.
You got to save this.
Where's
one.
all the locals? I think he did. This is after he's finished
They
his
escaped
work.
afterwards.
the fire.
What do you
This is
mean? He's
after-
trying to save them.
This is after he's completed the operation.
This is the you already won the game version.
This is
and
the remigration successful.
Yeah.
Well, it's Act 3 of the game
yeah.
after the nuclear bomb was dropped.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta have
anyway.
it broken up into acts.
So then
Makes sense that way.
it'll freeze, and then it gives you the option to download it.
Amazing.
So you can then I don't know what
that
this
was
says.
so funny.
You
The
can download it.
sign.
Yeah.
The sign was perfect.
And then there's welcome
God
to
bless
Dearborn.
America, man.
But you're still gonna, you know what though? You're still think of it though. You know what you still need the individual for is for that creative spark at the beginning, because it doesn't know why a Templar in Dearborn is interesting and going to be, but it doesn't know that why would there be a market for that? Why would people care about that? So you still need an.
Remember, we could tell
being
jokes
for
without
that.
getting in trouble.
I know, right? Well, no. Here's
Are we gonna get in trouble for that?
no, but here's
Well, but of course, like some leftist going to be like, Tate Brown,
here's-
Tate Brown. Bro, you made Media Matters. Congratulations.
Yeah, a lot. now.
here's
Like
what I'm
every
thinking
day,
of
it's pretty bad.
is like, have you guys seen the Iron Lung and that whole thing?
Iron Lung?
Yeah, it's that new movie that's out right now. It's like Markiplier, the guy put it all together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
and he
and
beat the studios. He beat the
He
major.
beat the studios, literally made it himself, and it's based off an indie game. But even then, it's the creativity of what went into that game, and it's this again, maybe think of it as how it's post-apocalyptic, and but it's in space, obviously. But he has to go. I haven't played the game, but I watched the movie. It was great, and he has to explore this moon, and he can only explore it in a submersible because the entire moon is covered in liquid. But it turns out that it's not water. It's blood.
Blood-filled ocean.
Yeah, it's an ocean of blood.
And then the corporate press was just like, it never happened. They ignored him.
Totally ignored it. Wasn't a big deal. He fronted all the money for it. He stars in it himself. Does a great job, by the way. And I think it's made like $20 million.
Grossed $37.2 million.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. It's a $3 million production budget. You've used 80,000 gallons of fake blood, making the bloodiest movie ever filmed. So
And when we put out a bunch of songs, and every time we do, for some reason, they gave us a fake reason why they weren't going to track it. They weren't going to put it on Billboard, and it's all political.
Yeah.
When we did a press release for one of our song releases, we got back emails from these major newspapers, like a press release saying, Tim Pool released a song with Pete Parada. The song is titled this. They replied back with "Go F yourself," stuff like that. That is what is wrong with these people.
I'll tell you that in putting together the halftime show, we ran up against this as well. Mm-hmm. And there were times where we went up for venues or certain times and we're not going to work with you because you're Turning Point, or you have to imagine people are don't want to go up against the NFL, don't want to go against
Did you see the fake story they ran right before the halftime show?
Which one?
So a story ran that said Kid Rock artists drop out.
Wait, no, I did see this. Yes, yeah. This came across my radar, and I'm looking at it going, well, I don't have time to respond to this, but he's obviously not dropped out because he's the star of.
So check this out. This story went up just before the Super Bowl. Kid Rock Festival cancels several tour dates after artists drop out. One band says it wants to unite, not divide. And so I'm at MGM on the day before the Super Bowl, and I said someone brought up Bad Bunny, and we're sitting at a poker table, and then I asked everybody, I was like, "You guys excited for this, bro?" Everybody was laughing. They were like, "No," and I was like, "Yeah, Turning Point's going to do that Kid Rock show," and the dealer goes, "Oh, but everyone dropped out of that," and I was like, "No, they didn't." And he was like, "Yeah, I read that everybody dropped out," and I was like, "I think you're thinking of something different because they're doing their show like tomorrow." And then he was like, "Oh, I don't know." This is what they do.
It's a disinfo campaign.
They run the story to tell people there's no show anymore. And then when you bring it up,
separate festival.
Yep,
it's a separate festival. It's a separate thing. And by the way, again, though, this is how the industry was working to chop block us at every turn, working to, we're not going to give you these rights. We're not going to give you those rights. You can't broadcast on this song on X. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then suddenly they put pressure on, okay, Kid Rock thinks he's going to go up against the Super Bowl halftime show. Well, we're going to put pressure on bands to cancel his tour. We're going to cancel the dates. We're going to cancel the festival. Anything they could. And in despite of that, we still get 40, 50 million.
Do you have the video? So there's a bunch of videos from the Super Bowl of the crowd, but do you have the actual video of the show?
What do you mean?
Did you post it on your X?
So
there's a bunch of videos we all have seen.
I don't think I actually have posted the video on X.
You know why? This is the craziest thing. So, okay. There's a bunch of videos where people during the show filmed the crowd and the crowd's not dancing.
Right.
That is not the most interesting video. Someone filmed the actual set of the halftime show and you can't see anything because the whole center of the field is stalks of sugarcane.
I've seen this, yeah.
And you can't see anybody inside doing anything.
It actually reminded me of the velociraptors in Jurassic Park, that video, because you just see like the rustling of the tall grass.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there, you're looking for a show because
kind of swaying a little bit.
When you look at our halftime show, we went for that traditional spectacle, whereas where you could enjoy on TV or live.
Yeah.
Whereas theirs, you could only
Here we go.
Live
on
Check
TV.
this out. Check this out. This is the. I don't need to hear that. So the people sitting in the stands can't actually see anything going on.
Yeah, they see the velociraptors.
Yep. And so people are like, it was a great show. It was a tremendous success. And I'm like, bro, no, it wasn't. This was for TV, not for... Look at this. You can't see anything. This is nuts, man. You know what really... Oh, it's so annoying. I don't want to hear this guy. The most annoying thing about this is the media keeps saying it was a record-breaking thing, 135 million views, smashing success. And I'm like, just stop. I can't stand the Pravda. The party is stronger than ever. It's perfect. We're great. And then everybody else is watching Turning Point.
Look, Clay Travis came out, and I trust him when it comes to sports reporting. That's how he cut his teeth. Outkick, he knows this stuff. He said this was the largest drop off they've had for a halftime show in Super Bowl history.
40% or 50%.
And he also pointed out that typically the halftime shows get a bump because people tune in because they want to see the show. Think Michael Jackson in '93.
Listen.
People want to see him because of his stardom.
When they had Eminem and who was it? Eminem and Snoop and Dre. It was like 2022 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't watch football. I know very little about football. We had a Super Bowl party. We were eating nachos. Here's what you do. You put cream cheese, chili, and then cheddar on top. That's a secret recipe.
Yeah.
Or melt chili. You bake it. It's the best football dip ever. And then when the halftime show came on, we all watched the TV. Mm-hmm. The halftime show is what everybody attaches to. The fact that they lost half their viewers when it happened.
But here's actually something. Well, keep in mind though, and this is something where so when people are comparing the numbers, and Tim, I know you understand this, that they're actually comparing apples to oranges because our views on YouTube and our views from our cable partners and over the top and fast networks, et cetera, those are devices. Whereas Nielsen is completely different.
Right.
Nielsen uses a formula where they assume, and I kind of agree with this, they say, well, nobody really watches the Super Bowl by themselves. It's typically at a party or something. Yep. And so what they do is they take the household number and they times it by 3.
Yep.
So when you're reading Nielsen ratings, it says that. Whereas, and then they'll say, and Turning Point got 20 million views on their YouTube channel. It's like, well, first of all, we had more than one stream up. And second of all,
and there are parties and there are bars.
But those were parties, those were bars. There were anyone with a YouTube TV set. I mean, the one I was at, we had like 30 people were there with my wife.
This has been a long-standing challenge for us on Timcast IRL because right now we have, let's see, between YouTube and Rumble, we have about 44,000 concurrent viewers. The issue is when we sell against this and we say like, oh, the show's going to get 600, 700,000 views. There's a difference between a show like ours, which is live 8 to 11 p.m. every day, and a VOD, which is watched on mobile. About half our viewers watch on TVs. And so one thing I noticed very early on was that it seemed disproportionate, the amount of people who knew about the show and talked to me, and I didn't understand until we actually figured out, talking with some industry execs who said, oh, it's because you're a TV show. Timcast IRL is watched on a lot of televisions, right? Yeah, there's 4 or 5 people in that room. Yep. And I went, oh. We had advertisers saying...
College dorm.
Right. Yep. So we had advertisers say to us, we heard this for like 2 years, you overperform. You have 600,000, 700,000 viewers. We'll buy an ad from you, and it performs as though it's 1 million. We love advertising on your show, and we sell ads like crazy. The reality is we're underselling because the metrics used online are seemingly a device, even if it's actually multiple people. So here's a challenge for you, Jack, and here's what you guys should say. You guys should say you had 90 million viewers. I'm gonna say it right now.
30 million, then you would times it by 3.
Because the halftime show was played on bars, on televisions. It was not, and it's a silly thing to assume. In fact, here's what you really should do. Go into the channel's metrics and look how many mobile devices and how many TVs. And for every TV, do the Nielsen analysis. So if you guys have 40% TVs, call that, you got 45 million. Let's say 20 times 3 is 60. That puts you at 85 million views for the TPUSA halftime show.
People.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Viewers.
And this is my point. So whenever you read these articles and they're comparing the numbers, you're comparing apples to oranges because Nielsen uses the times 3.
Let me just throw this to you because we mentioned this on the show when it happened or the day after. Which advertiser out there, which would you prefer? I can hold up a sign that someone will walk past, or I can hold up a sign to a group of people who are looking to come and stare at the sign.
You want the engaged.
You want the engaged. The Turning Point halftime show was people saying, I'd like to come find this. The Super Bowl halftime show was people who had the TV on in the background.
Right.
So it's not only apples to oranges.
Did you see that video?
It's totally different metrics.
This guy's going viral because he had a Super Bowl party and he put on the 2014 Super Bowl and nobody noticed the entire time.
There's a lot of people that just tune in for the halftime show. There's a lot of people that just tune in just to watch the commercials.
Not this year.
Well, those are the most pathetic people, like just broken by life.
Well, here's something interesting as well, because I didn't really watch a lot of the commercials, but one of the ones that I did catch was, and I guess there's been a series of these, Duncan with like Ben Affleck, and this is like the 3rd year that he's done an iteration of this. So did you notice that they brought back a lot of the 90s sitcom characters for this one?
Oh, really?
So like Jason Alexander comes in from Seinfeld, and I think I want to say they had David Schwimmer from Friends came in, and Jennifer Aniston.
Still alive?
And if maybe it was Matt LeBlanc, the Joey. And point being is they were going for that 90s nostalgia in this one piece. But here's the twist, right? So you're going for that 30 to 44 age demo that's out there, like your 80s, early 90s kids. But what's amazing is who's Kid Rock's key demo is the people in that same
Not
age
Bad Bunny.
range. No, certainly not Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's demo was because that was globalist, right? But the reason they had, so just to finish my point, we had Kid Rock. So we were, not only did we get the views that we got, but we were also cutting into that key demo that they were looking for, which it wasn't something that we really intended to do. But, thinking about it now, because we're talking ratings, we're talking numbers, we're talking all this stuff, you get the number 2 YouTube live stream of all time. And suddenly we're realizing that, wait a minute, I bet you if we broke that out by age, we probably got that key advertising demo that they wanted, the disposable income, the elder millennials, centennials, Gen Y, that's who they were going for. And we stole a lot of those. Yeah. Meanwhile, Bad Bunny, they say he's the number 1 global streamer. Yeah, but that's because he's got a targeted audience.
It's because
in the
they autoplay
Spanish-speaking world. And there are a lot of allegations of autoplay.
That's what it is. When I go in my Tesla and I say like top music, there are people on there who are, you know what? I'll put it like this. Without disparaging a particular band, I'm not going to say their name. I was hanging out at MGM and a song comes on. Mm-hmm. This song on YouTube has like 1.3 million views and it's been out for a few years. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is this song playing in a casino with 50,000 people in it? Nobody knows what the song is and it's not a good song.
Yeah.
It's obvious the label just said, we want this on rotation.
Oh, well, like in the people can buy the streams. Now, I remember like a few years ago, my Spotify got hacked and I was still logged in and I would change the song and it would autoplay. But I won't say which artist it was, but it's like a rapper that had accusations of buying his streams. And it would keep going back to the song he had just released over and over again. And then I found like it showed where the active logins were and it was in Russia. So it's like hacking
Russians.
Yeah, and then they were making a bot farm with stolen accounts.
We were at this. We were out the other night, the night before the halftime show, and I was like, oh, and it was one of those places that has the touch tunes, like the jukebox.
I'm a touch tunes warrior.
And I was like, oh, let's get in there. It was getting hot. It was getting hot that night.
Dude, it gets like you're in the trenches.
It gets heated. You're absolutely in the
trench warfare. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple people that were. I was like, I
know.
And hey, the fast credits or whatever. This,
but then other people put their fast credits ahead of you.
It just turns into an arms race.
It was an arms race.
The Cold War.
It basically was. And
what you do? Oh, good.
And but before I went on my app, I actually just went over to the machine, and you know whose face was right there staring at me was Bad Bunny.
Of course.
And I was like, wait, and then his album was the first thing that popped up was Bad Bunny. I'm like, well, I want to do Ball with the Ball by Kid Rock. And it was so hard to search for it and dig through. And there were certain, I was just like, then I just got randomly like looking for different bands. And it's like, these are big bands who have huge followings, not even there.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you cut through all like the politics surrounding Bad Bunny, like it's just very nefarious because the NFL, Rock Nation, when they're choosing Bad Bunny to be the halftime show act,
Jay-Z, who runs Rock Nation.
Bro,
he controls. What makes it so nefarious is the halftime show is meant to just be an entertaining product for the audience at home. The reason they select Bad Bunny is because the NFL has been actively trying to expand into Latin America. That's why they play games in Mexico City. That's why they play games in Brazil.
This is what I was getting at.
So
that's why it's globalist.
Yeah, so that's why they're just treating the audience as an opportunity to expand a brand. It's so nefarious.
I got a question. Who's Luke Bryan?
He's a country singer.
Country. Are we okay with that?
Yeah,
okay with
I guess so.
Who's Jamie Johnson?
Don't know.
He's
country.
He's folk, right? He's folk music. Yeah.
Is that okay? All right. Three Doors Down. I'm okay with that. So I have the Touch Tunes app, and you can from anywhere play music anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So I say we go to LA right now and we teach these people a lesson.
Yeah, just
put on some Kid Rock.
ram it down their throats.
Wait, do they have wait, Tim, do they have any locations in Puerto Rico?
That's me and my friends, we would go to like very lib-coded bars.
I don't think it lets you do anything that's not near you.
We would go to very lib-coded
really?
bars in Brooklyn and just ram Morrissey down their throats. It was
it's only letting me do things that are directly around you.
His Notre Dame song.
But I'll tell you what. Let's see, Waffle House.
Across the bow, you play some Morrissey, dude.
Waffle House in Inwood is
they have
playing
touch
nothing.
Tunes at Waffle House?
Yeah, bro, dude.
Waffle House is where it's at.
Oh, I know. I love Waffles, but it's like I didn't know they had touch
out
tunes there. The one I go to local doesn't have one.
You need a soundtrack for the violence.
Yeah, dude.
It's the fight music.
Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
You know what? No, I changed my mind. I figured it out. I'm going to start hitting up all of these touch tunes to make it play Bad Bunny so that people get angry and start complaining about it.
Creating hate for Bad Bunny. But to your point, Jack, it is about the globalism, but more than that, it was about subverting, I think, something that is truly American, right? Like he was speaking in Spanish. Most of your football fans don't speak Spanish. I mean, I understand that there's a lot of people that do speak Spanish in the U.S., but most of the guys that are watching football, they don't speak Spanish.
15% of the country.
Yeah, it's not a huge percentage. The flags that he was carrying, the Puerto Rican flag with the light blue, that's the revolutionary Puerto Rican flag. That was about separating himself from America. When he was saying, "Oh, we're all America," all of that stuff was implying that North and South America are the real America. It was all subversion. It was all communist BS.
This is open borders. This is globalism. This is everyone's.
Well, there's a
America.
migrant caravan marching across the border.
Yeah,
and the flags. If you look at the flags that were at the front, those were all the colonies.
And there were so many conservatives saying that, it wasn't political at all. I'm looking at it and like there are foreign flags marching and saying we are.
There was a wedding.
There's not only people saying conservatives saying that, but Jacobin and DSA were saying the truth. They were saying, look, this is a great political statement.
This is why I actually appreciate, in a sense, Jacobin and DSA because they're just honest.
Yeah,
like like most liberals will lie to you, and so they'll lie to you. Whereas like at least the Jacobin guys are like, no, we are communists. Yes. We are here to destroy you. We want a revolution in your country. That's what we're doing.
I have an ongoing subscription to Jacobin magazine.
Wow.
Well, I think it's important to know what
100%
people think.
100%. The reason that censorship is bad.
But I will say this too: Jacobin has been on the right side of some issues. We've discussed quite a bit. They're communists. I mean, they're super far left. But there have been issues of like government overreach that they've been on the right side of. That I agree with.
Famously, they endorsed a policy that's actually very right wing, which is when New York City passed a bill that every establishment has to take cash, no questions asked. It's a really right wing policy because that was at the same time when Beto O'Rourke was like Chase should deny purchases for AR-15s. And they're saying, well, we don't want banking controlling your purchases. Yeah. New York City, they pass a bill intending for it to like help homeless people buy stuff or whatever, but it's actually just a really right-wing policy.
Well, look, when I came up there and I had no notes, I had no like direction. We threw this thing together in 3 months, and really less than that because we had AmFest and then Christmas and New Year's, really more like 2 months, and we'd cast a wide net early on. And then you have to drill down on venues and artists. And then we had so many artists who said they would do it. But then when it came to those rights, didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not going to point fingers, but I think we all know who didn't want a competitive halftime show. I'll just leave it at that. And I realized, though, that the way to win this is just make it completely non-political. No politics. Don't go up there and be trolling. Don't go up there and talk about Trump or anything like that.
Just make a good product.
Just make a good product.
Just call it the English-speaking halftime show.
All American.
They're gonna cast it as a political thing, anyways. The left was casting the TPUSA thing as they were saying that it's political. That it was these guys are all political and stuff. It doesn't matter what you're saying. It's just that the fact that it's people that are comfortable playing what is perceived as a right wing event, then it's political and it's blah blah blah. And even though the Bad Bunny one is the one that actually had all the subversion in it, right?
They set the stage last year with Kendrick Lamar.
But ultimately, I will say,
it's already been
in another sense, though, in a higher sense, it is political, right? It's political because the left in this country has separated from the traditional idea of American patriotism. And so patriotism didn't used to be political. It is now.
Yeah.
And that's what just made it the perfect storm where we wrote in there and said, we are going to do it this way. We're going to have this. We're going to have Kid Rock, who's, a super famous artist that, really that's what made this break containment. We broke containment where normies, people at bars, Uber drivers, whatever you call it, they're all saying, the Kid Rock halftime show, the American halftime show.
Kid Rock.
That's the one we watched.
It's objectively.
Whoa. How come you didn't get Creed?
And that
Alter Bridge was on tour in Europe.
Alter Bridge was on tour in Europe, and they were literally in Spain. And
But you're getting them next year for sure.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we do.
Just so long as you don't have.
I will be disappointed.
Yeah, just so long as you don't have
front row boxers throw it on stage.
No, again,
I got a pitch for you guys.
But what I'm saying though is here's the thing is when it comes to any one artist, and this is what it was a huge learning curve for me on so much of this. I should have called you to explain how all the rights work to everybody. It's not even up to the artists.
Of course,
it's about the people who own the rights to the song. So it's like what if we had gotten I'll just say Kid Rock. So it's like Kid Rock comes on, he says he wants to come, but then he doesn't own the rights to Ball with the Ball because Universal does. And then what if Universal says, "Oh, you can't play Ball with the Ball at Turning Point"?
So I got a pitch for you.
And it's what do you do then?
I think you guys should actually do a festival next year. And the headline show should be the halftime, but there can be stuff before and after.
That was my look. The brainstorming, that was one of the ideas that I had early on. We wanted to do it outside. We wanted to do it with a huge audience. It worked out the way that it did this time because we had a limited time. That's something that we're actively looking at. By the way, though, I think I already do have the venue.
And Remains will play.
And I can announce the venue tonight actually because I'll explain why, because we were looking at YouTube live streams over the years and the record. Tim, do you know what the number one YouTube live stream of all time was, or currently is?
Well, YouTube live stream, that's the Moonlander, right?
Is the Indian Moonlander. It's the Indian Moonlander. So, you're going up against a subcontinent, 1.7 billion people. Billion people. So what I've realized is no, we're doing it on the moon. Modi's going to be there. Yeah. Modi's going to open it up so they all tune in.
Artemis, baby.
We cannot stand Bad Bunny.
So he's going to give him, we'll have Ravi Shankar, or Anushka Shankar, his daughter, come on out. It's going to be phenomenal. She'll be the opener. And then we get that audience and then boom, we totally lock it in. No,
I think if you did a music festival,
I'd love to do a festival.
I think you should absolutely
I'd love to do a festival.
Because right now is the time to start planning for it.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Big acreage, multi-stage?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're gonna do
Magaroo, that'd be sick.
If you do
singles Magaroo, but not political, no politics.
Yeah.
You want to do two stages so that way you can have one stage being set up while the other one's going, whether they be end to end or next to it, both of them.
Actually, that might work better because this was the reason, and cat's out of the bag because Kid Rock, and there was this whole controversy, not lip syncing. By the way, I'm there. I have video from the set. I have the masters. I was watching it. I posted this.
It's fake smears.
He is not lip syncing. There was an audio sync issue. Yes, for a portion of it where you can see it's not just his vocals that are out of sync. Everything is out of sync. Like if you actually understand how music works, you could see the drums are out of sync, the guitars are out of sync, everything's out of sync in that moment because it was a sync issue. But I've got backstage footage where you can see the on the closed circuit that he's just singing like normal and he's right there. But so he let the cat out of the bag that it was pre-recorded. And when he says pre-recorded, that doesn't mean the music was pre-recorded. Yep. That means the show was pre-recorded. And the reason we pre-recorded is exactly what Phil just said. It was about setup time. Yep. Because Bad Bunny, think of it. And Tim, you just showed that video where they have to come out, they have to set up the grasslands or whatever, and do that all takes time. Whereas we were able to do more show in the same amount of time because we were able to eliminate that breakdown time because we could just show act to act to act to act. And Phil, obviously, because you put on shows, I'm sure you noticed that right away.
Oh yeah.
So festival, right? Multi-day,
but multiple stages could
solve
it.
What? 2 days? How many days?
I mean, if you do 2 days, you're doing all right. I mean, usually if you're going to do 2 days, you're going to have 2 days with 2 stages. You're talking about probably 20 to 30 bands. Would be what you're looking for.
Do it.
Wow. You know,
we'll get the Defiant to play.
There you go.
Yeah.
Patriot Fest.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid the political stuff here, guys.
I say you call it Halftime Fest, and the point is you just get big bands. And then the message is not overtly political. It's just we want a good show from bands that we know and love. That's it. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, dude. If you're booking big bands, Kid Rock, you're going to sell tickets.
Yep.
You don't need to make it.
I don't think. I mean, look, the proof of concept. It's clearly there. And what we showed. And look. And this is where I talked about how the gatekeeping definitely affected us early on, but it ended up in a much better spot because now when you see the numbers like that, 40, 50 million all in on a wing and a prayer, and we're slapping this thing together like literally as we go along, that there's a lot of people that want to be associated with that amount of eyeballs.
Yep.
And when it comes down to it, Tim, it's your point. It is about money. It is about advertisers. It is about, people who want to get involved. Now, I'll say, and you notice we didn't run ads. We didn't run ads. We kept it as C3. We ran obviously a Charlie tribute. We talked about our own org.
Look.
That was it.
If you guys if this was to be a for-profit venture based off the views that you got, and next you did a festival based off those views, is a $100 million operation overnight. It's not an exaggeration. A festival that can pull in those kind of live numbers, you think about the amount of sponsors each stage is going to be able to get. You think about, and when I say 100 million, I mean it's a sell, it's a value of. So I'm picturing that if you started selling advertisement spots, first you need the plan, how many stages, where's it's going to be, what's it going to look like, which includes the live stream with an estimated 40 to 50 million, probably more next year.
Do it exactly on the site of Woodstock 99.
Yeah.
Bro,
in February, or you're going to do that?
You're going to bring in like 20 or 30 million dollars in paid sponsorships in advance. And so festivals like this, based off the conventions and stuff that I've seen in the sales that they've pulled in based on their numbers, this is like a $100 million business.
Look, at the end of the day, it's as amazing as all that is. Look, we have to make sure that whatever we do, we stay true to the mission, right? And that's Charlie's mission. Because Charlie, and this is one of the things that people don't realize. Like this wasn't like I had the tweet and all, but like it was Charlie's. He always talked about the Super Bowl halftime show, and he would say, this isn't family friendly. You can't show this to little kids. He would call it, this is debauchery. He called it sexual anarchy in 2022. And his whole point was, you've got to have something that showcases the type of, we have a clip of him where he's saying, showcase the type of virtues that you want to see throughout the country. And so what do we have? We had rock music, we had country, we had Kid Rock preaching the gospel, by the way. I don't think anybody saw that coming, which, man, it was so hard for me to not talk about that because I was sitting backstage bawling my eyes out. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. When he hit that song, when he started singing, when he showed the picture of Charlie and he started singing about, hey, when your dad asks you to go fishing, why don't you say yes? Because one day you can't. Mm-hmm. Lost it.
Kellen helped pull something together looks like we're good to go. Let me grab this.
Uh-oh.
No. Uh-oh.
Big uh-oh.
No. Uh-oh, bro.
Ellen's cooking.
It's all
It's cooking, bro.
Oh, Starbase Texas.
Hey, there you go.
Oh.
That's
Well, because
very-
like the halftime show,
It's the wrong date if you're going to do the Super Bowl next year, but you know.
Yeah, it's
And
February.
on the note of like the virtues we want to see from the halftime show, like this doesn't necessarily have to be like we get around and like show like let's get married and have kids. Like it should celebrate like American vitality, like, the essence of America.
Real quick, this is a parody of Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he sent me.
But the point, I mean, my point is like, it's like, yeah, you don't have to be so overt like that.
Just celebrate like
whereas
American
Bad Bunny
vitality.
was. Yeah, but that's what it is through art, through music.
The last like
Well, and you got what, and I think a lot of people got what Kid Rock was doing with the way that he did the transition.
Yeah.
Of where people were saying, okay, first he comes out with Ball at the Ball. That's how you met him. He was Kid Rock, and he was introduced as Kid Rock. But then Kid Rock goes away, and then you get Antonio and Allison Marin, who the phenomenal the string section comes out, and then they have this moment showcasing transition. Right,
Yeah.
that was the whole point of transition, that like a real transition, not like the crazy one that we talk about. Then he gets reintroduced. The same guys who come up, they reintroduce him as Robert Ritchie, and then Robert Ritchie comes out and plays Till You Can't. And so the point was, it's him saying, "Look, this was me in the '90s. Top of the world. I've got the girls. I got the fame. I got the jets. I got everything I want. But I don't have Christ, and I'm missing something." And that's what he finds. And he's talking about second chances, and he's obviously, he's singing about himself. He's singing about, I found Christ. And so you're looking at his salvation story, and he's offering that to so many people. And I didn't even get that because I had heard, what do you mean we're getting a string section? And Kid Rock wants a cello. Like what?
Oh my God, bro! Wait, I just had a vision.
And then we put it all together. It was phenomenal.
get a vision.
We have to. I had a vision. I had a vision of All That Remains playing main stage, and Mike Lindell comes out.
Yeah.
And right at one of like the biggest screams.
Oh, no.
Mike Lindell just takes it. Bro.
Every page.
I'd hand over the mic. I'd hand over the mic for Mike Lindell.
We got to jump to the story. This is from the New York Post.
We need Mike Lindell and Drop D.
Let's go.
Governor
Right.
Mike Lindell.
Guys, we got the story. This is from the New York Post. Gun person in a dress behind Canada's deadliest shooting in decades. Horrified Tumbler Ridge students reveal. There's a mass shooting the other day. A transgender individual killed several people, including himself. And when the story broke, the media was calling the shooter a woman in a dress, which immediately people said, that's a weird way to describe a woman. The New York Post then said female in a dress because they changed it because people don't know what the left is trying to convey, or they do, they're lying, whatever. Then news broke that, in fact, it was a biological male who identified as transgender. And the story here is, the tragedy is a tragedy. It's sad. But the story here is the cover-up.
Yeah.
What was the police chief who said gun
Wait,
person?
by the way, though, I think it also just broke that he killed his own family first.
Yeah. No, that was in the initial reporting.
Yep.
And that, I've been running around. So it was
the
the
police
mother.
chief said gun person.
Right. Yeah. That's what was so crazy because we were trying to stitch together the story this morning. Like, okay, what's confirmed, what's not.
Yeah, and I was
all
kind of like not.
But
I
all
was
the
traveling
local
earlier.
like British Columbia papers were like talking to the guy's family. They're talking to classmates, and they're like, "Yes, this is him." But the police just refused to actually admit it. So you had like the Western Standard. They're a large paper in British Columbia. Are like, yeah, we talked to the classmates, 100% this guy, no doubt about it. But like, if you're in the media and you're commentating on this, you still can't go all in because you still need like the permission from the local police. But they were just all out on defense. And even afterwards, where the local police was like, well, we still want to honor this person's like gender identity.
Why do you need to respect a mass shooter?
Right. Yeah.
Well, because keep in mind that you're in Canada. This is not a place where you have like the same kind of freedom of speech, the same protections.
Right.
We've seen people in the UK go to jail for inciting hatred, inciting discrimination. And so it could easily be something where they're actually worried about, the media in Canada getting fines for not referring to them by the proper pronouns.
Oh,
This is the exact reason why we can't take any part of Canada as a 51st state. I don't care what anyone I'm still on that. We are not taking any part of Canada.
No, we conquer and subjugate, Phil. Subjugate.
strip their rights.
Yes.
There's no voting rights in Canada.
What we do is, here's the plan. After we take all the territory, we treat them as though they're illegal immigrants.
Deport them from their homes.
No. Democrat strategy. They're able to work jobs that we don't want, but they don't get to vote and they don't have access to public accommodation.
That would be exciting. Some white illegal immigrants. That'd be fun.
No. Did you guys see the story with the Irish guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so dumb.
The left is like, do you know the story?
No.
Irish guy's been here for like 20-something years, and he's been locked up in detention. And he's like, I have a work permit to be here, and I'm married to an American citizen. Okay, he entered here on the visa waiver program. Mm-hmm. And do you know why it's called the visa waiver program?
Well, certain countries don't.
You are waiving your rights. When you come to the United States under a visa waiver, and they have this in Europe, we do it too when we go over there.
Yeah.
You don't need a visa to enter. In lieu of applying for a visa, you waive your rights to judicial process in the event you are going to be removed. 90 days in the country, we can kick you out whenever we want. That's the trade-off.
Right.
If you don't want to deal with that, you can apply for a visa. They have business, they have tourist visas, you can apply. And then we can challenge those. So this guy's been here for 20 years on an expired visa. He entered in 09.
Yeah.
And now he's like, it's torture, I'm being tortured. And it's like, you can literally go home anytime.
Yeah.
And the only reason you're still here is because you're refusing to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want him here. Like you can go to Ireland. That's what I remember that story broke. And even me, like the most avow, like pro-ICE person out there, I saw the initial headline. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. Like what's going on here? And then you just scratch the surface a little bit. It's like the guy came in 09 for a 90-day visa and overstayed it. And then he's refusing to like go back to Ireland. It's insane.
And he's demanding a court process which was denied. Nope. The court actually said because he entered on a visa waiver, he explicitly includes a waiver of your rights to due process in the event deportation is sought.
Yeah.
So it's just it pisses me off to no end that they're like, this poor man, he's been here and he's Irish, and I'm like, bro, he committed a crime.
Yeah.
That's it. He can go back to Ireland and reapply. I got no beef, but he's got to go back to Ireland and reapply.
Ireland's also like the easiest country to get an American visa for. They literally have a working holiday visa where you can get like a 2-year, if you're Irish, you can get like a 2-year visa. You come here and it's a working visa for 2 years. And he like didn't even take that up.
I don't think that he should be allowed back. Well,
no, I mean, once you violate your visa, you should be on a blacklist.
You're saying CCOT?
I mean,
maybe not for life, but for a period of time until he's corrected.
Yeah, and he like played it fast and loose with how he got married too. Like he got married like really quickly out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's like
But also, by the way, if he got married, why did he not apply for naturalization?
Why didn't he go back and then apply and then come back? But he didn't go back to Ireland. That's the problem.
Right. He's been here for 20. No, he's been here for 16 years.
Came in 09, yeah.
Yeah, he's been here for 16 years. And he only recently applied and had a meeting. And they said, yeah, too bad, you got to go. And he's fighting it. And he's like, please, get me out of this detention center. And it's like, yes, your plane to Ireland awaits, sir.
Yeah, get out.
I was amazed when I found out about like this is actually kind of an issue with like Irish illegal immigrants. If you go to like Woodside in Queens, you'll see these really old Irish people that are there, and they entered illegally in like the 80s, and they've been here like the whole time.
They're in the troubles. Wow.
I know, it's exciting. I'm like, white illegals. It's like such a mystery to see them. I'm like, did you like the Bad Bunny show? You gotta ask these questions.
Get out. Get out.
Wait, Tate, I have to ask you the ubiquitous question about the Bad Bunny show.
Right.
Was that, and I'm sure you've seen this discourse about how he showcased so many facets of his culture that are totally unaware by white people, that we have no idea what it's like seeing someone a kid sleep across 2 to 3 chairs at a wedding, that we have no idea what it's like. You see, it's totally different. It's totally unique because in their culture, they actually really value food and music and family, and dinner is like a daily thing. It's totally unique, by the way.
Yeah, literally, they take traits that are very common among like the lower middle class or lower class, and then they attribute it to like some sort of like unique ethnic identity.
Well, there was this tweet going viral. Yeah, Tim, I don't know if you saw this tweet that was going viral, where I guess it was some girl, and she was like, "This is the most Latin thing ever, where it's a little kid sleeping across two to 3 chairs at a wedding," and it's like, isn't that just being a kid?
Yeah.
Like at a family event that goes like...
Well, again, this is the point that these people are... The problem I see with a lot of these liberals is that they come from these insular environments. Like when they had that whole campaign about the talk, and the white liberals were like, black people have to tell their kids to obey the police. And I'm just like, that's true for literally every single person.
My white mind can't comprehend this.
I mean,
what?
I've told everybody that watches this show multiple times, do what the cops say or the cops are going to shoot you.
No. Phil, you're giving the talk.
I know, right?
But like what Jack's saying is they'll do this thing where it'll be like, in Lebanese culture, we have this really unique thing. We get together for a meal, and it's like a tradition for us. Like you're describing dinner. That's dinner.
I saw someone in the comments. They were like from some. It was like some East Asian country, and they were saying, and there was a foreign student. It was in the U.S. And he had just lost his grandfather, and then the father was explaining to the American, you see, he's really sad because in our culture we really value our grandparents. So it's just so you understand that.
Well, I'll be honest, like the way Americans shove their parents and grandparents in homes and sort of leave.
Yeah, there was the comedian Stavros, I don't know how to say his last name, Hykos or whatever, and he did make a good point where he's like, there's WASP culture and then there's everything else is kind of the same, and it's kind of true where it's like,
is kind of true
to a degree. When you do see these sorts of behaviors, if you're like a WASP, like a very like old school American, that is kind of foreign, but it's like everybody else combined. There's some truth.
But I mean, I'll even point out, and I'll play devil's advocate on the the senior homes, is that is something because that is WASP culture because of them wanting to be more independent.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want to be like the burden.
Right.
On the children. Whereas in most other cultures, like I'm Polish, obviously, and in Polish culture, it's an Eastern European culture. It's very much the traditional, multi-generational family household.
Yeah.
The grandparents take care of the little kids. That it's a whole thing. And by the way, though, there's what's like the #1 book series in the UK right now is the Thursday Murder Club, right?
Right.
Where it's like a bunch of seniors going around and solving murders because they live at a home together. Whereas like in other cultures that just wouldn't even exist. That whole dynamic doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's some truth that like the United States, because of like our founding culture being like super like hyper Calvinist, is that we have this like very uniquely individualistic culture. And so to Jack's point, I remember a few years ago this discourse started on the right where they're like, the nuclear family is actually bad and we should like embrace multi-generational living. And I'm like, but we never have. Like the United States has always been a very individualistic culture. That's why we're so awesome. That's why every American, like I love this description of Americans that we're all temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
Yep.
It's like that is the reason why we like are like, let's just go to the moon. Like these sorts of things. That actually is like a very intrinsic to America. And by extension, I guess, like the UK and Australia, they're kind of losing it. So you do see some of these things introduced and they're like passed off as conservative or right wing, but it's like, it's just foreign to the United States, and like the way it's being implemented, it's like once you see it, you're like, well, that's not quite us. There's a reason why America's so unique. So
yeah, and
multi-generational. It's like to Jack's point, like old people don't want to be perceived as a burden on their kids. Like,
which is
that's
totally different.
The American thing.
Actually, somebody
it's worth preserving too.
So somebody would this actually there's an element of this in the Nancy Guthrie case. And that's obviously going on. It's horrific. It's so terrible. But people were pointing out, I guess the first night, like the last night which she was seen, they said she took an Uber to the son and daughter's house for dinner.
Yeah. And
I heard a lot of people saying, well, wait a minute, the son and daughter only live a couple of minutes away. Why wouldn't they pick her up? But it goes back to the same culture that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't want to be seen as a burden, want to demonstrate independence, and that this is, it's just part of that culture.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you can change. And also when you bring in people who are from different cultures, yes, they can assimilate to that, to an extent, but when you bring so many people in who don't have that culture, that don't have any history of that, they don't assimilate because it is totally foreign way of thinking and way of believing. So to answer the question, it's like, why would you take that Uber? Because that's the culture.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue the merits of it, but like John Doyle made this point. It was a really good point. He was talking about how his neighbor's house burnt down and the whole neighborhood came together like, we're going to help you rebuild.
Wait, he set his neighbor's house on fire? John Doyle.
John Doyle, yeah, patriot, but it's a little strange. But like, anyway, so his neighbor's house burns down, and he's like, the whole neighborhood is like rallied. Like, we'll help you out, we'll help you rebuild. And the guy refused to get any help. He's just like, I'll just handle it myself. I don't want to be like a burden.
Exactly.
That's a very American way.
Very American, yeah.
Operating. It's like, I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps. Like, thank you for the help, but like, I got this.
Yep.
That's changing. And again, you can argue if that's good or bad, but that is uniquely American.
EBT. So We Accept EBT was printed on the Bad Bunny set. Did you see that? Yeah, on that bodega that they're dancing in front of. It's like that old AOC tweet. It's like if that were a halftime show. It actually had the We Accept EBT right there. And then people were saying, and then like Nina Turner on Twitter and a bunch of people were saying, you need to put that because that's our culture, because that's there. It's like, so wait, it's
called deficit culture.
You're cheering this, you're celebrating this, whereas as I'm sure Tate knows, that in like white American culture, typically it's seen, and I think a lot of people, or at least traditionally, it used to be seen that was shameful. Like people would say, like, I don't care if we don't have money, like we're not getting on food stamps. Like it's like embarrassing, it's shameful.
I say we end
you won't do it.
I did this video the other day breaking down why communism is dumb. It was a slow news day. And
wait, really? I've never heard anyone say that before.
Indeed.
Whoa, take, dude.
The easiest way to explain it is that the phrase from each according to their ability to each according to their need posits that people who can produce by working extra hard should, and people who can't produce enough to survive should not. And so the reason why communism always fails is because the people who can produce in excess have no reason to, and the people who cannot are given food from everybody else.
Yep.
So you have an expansion of a deficit population, a population that consumes while not producing enough. This is the end. Humanity survives as social beings. The more humans there are doing work, it's an exponential gain on the ease of survival. Communism takes away the incentive to produce, but everybody still must consume, lest they die.
Yeah.
What we have right now is this hybrid. We don't live in a capitalist society. It's called a mixed economy. And that's because around half, the country is 50-50 socialist, communist versus capitalist. People say it's always a capitalist country. No, it's not. It's a crony capitalist. No. We're literally called the mixed economy because half our money goes to social services and half our money is kept. The problem with that is we have built a country with a large deficit population. They don't produce as much as they consume. Sooner or later, in that system, albeit in a mixed economy, it'll go slower than a communist country, the people who do produce eventually start giving up. And then there is no excess. So now you only have people producing at cost, people at deficit. You get revolution, you get chaos.
Yeah. Well, that's why you see, like, every time in the UN, they have these, like, they don't have any implication, but they're like, should food be a human right? The United States always votes no, because we're just saying, like, no, you're not entitled to someone else's labor. That's demonic. That's a positive right. And a positive right means you're entitled to someone's labor because, again, someone has to produce that food. Yep. And so if that's a human right, if food is a human right, that means that if your human right's being infringed on, then you could put the gun to someone and say, give me some food. So it's like at every level, it's just so pernicious.
This is why these systems, again, were created for certain people in certain places at certain times. And we're now learning that they can't just be applied across the board to everyone. It doesn't work. You have hacker cultures like Tim was talking about earlier. You have cultures that want the socialism. It's like a gimme, gimme, gimme kind of culture. Yep. You have cultures where they put face in front of truth. They will lie, they will cheat, etc. Hacker cultures. And that they'll say that they'll use the language of saying this is a right to feel that they're entitled to whatever it is they want.
That's what CIS, Center for Immigration Studies, they just combed through the census data and they found that the majority of foreign-born Americans were on some form of welfare.
I have a right to that jacket that Jack is wearing. So
this clothing.
I believe I have a gun somewhere, Jack.
But however, Tim, my name is on it right there.
I have a right to promo code POSO.
Promo code POSO.
You're walking in body.
In fact,
I'd say a couple of pillows to get this jacket,
actually,
Tim.
Jack, everybody has a right to use promo code POSO.
Whoa. Well, right end of duty, by the way.
So true.
Patriotic duty. Patriots use promo code POSO. You know whose promo code is, Tanya? Communists.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go to the super chats and Rumble rants before the uncensored portion of the show. Before we do, head over to timcast.com, click join us, and get in that Discord server. We got a big community of tens of thousands of people. They are hanging out. They are friends. Community is our strength. These leftists got these big networks. We don't need to create any weird police infringing crime networks like they have, but community is still powerful because when a disaster strikes, an emergency strikes, you need to know who your friends are, where they are, and there's a support network. It's more than that. You guys share ideas. You guys call into the uncensored portion of the show exclusively on Rumble Premium. As a Discord member, you help support the work that we do, and you're deeply involved. We've got a bunch of stuff in the works. Our coffee shop should be opening very soon. No kidding. Like legit, we're having one of our final walkthroughs. Very excited. And that means our social club events will be coming up very soon as well. Very, very excited. At the same time, I mean this kind of in a weird way as a promo, but it is our security issues have not been abated, and it's massively stressful, and we are admittedly hanging by a thread, but we're doing everything we can to keep things going. So if you support that work that we do and you want to help us to continue doing it, timcast.com, join our Discord community. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the cost of security, Jack knows this, it's like if we were to try and do full standard security, we need $3 to $5 million.
Yeah, it's people,
bonkers.
People have no idea.
They have no idea. One 24-hour rotation is $700,000 a year.
Which, and not to get into it too much, but at Turning Point's main headquarters, when Charlie was murdered, we were actually in the process of putting up finally a full security gate and fencing and perimeter with like a motorized gate and all the rest of it. And there is now 24/7 security. So
I will just stress this again. The cost that you guys have now, especially now with all the stupid insanity conspiracy theories, God, it's bonkers, dude. We're going over these numbers, and a single the low end, and this is because of insurance, and it's because you need to understand one security guy. It's not that you have one security guy for 24 hours. No, you have 4 people per day, right? Because of shift overlap, because you can't have gaps in your security. Now imagine you've got a multi-building, media company with several shows, and you need 4 or 5 people per day, 24 hours for maximum security after someone shot at your property. It's nuts. That's why we went to Florida and we were trying to work something out and figure out if there was a way to do a bigger deal with Rumble and do something. We don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's going to happen. And we're still navigating this, but full disclosure, full transparency. It's bonkers. And right now we have, let me just say, we have maximum security, and it is a doozy. It is. So timcast.com, support the work that we do by joining the Discord community and making sure it's possible. All right, let's grab some Rumble rants and chats. We got Perceptual Jonathan. He says, Poso couldn't even get Creed? What's the point of a halftime show? Great job putting the show together, Jack. Well, we did go over it. Next year.
No, I mean, it's when we announced, I didn't even look at tour dates and things like that. And wait, I have to follow the law. There's like legal stuff I got to deal with. We need lawyers. I have, and by the way, the lawyers have been on me. Like, we couldn't even say the word Super Bowl in the run up to it. Do you know that?
Really?
Because they would consider that using their trademark in promotion of our show, and therefore we could trademark infringement. That's a liability. They're like, it's like everything. I'm like, am I allowed to say my name? Am I allowed? No. It's wild. It's wild.
Josh 2371 says, I'm going to visit Tokyo, Japan next year. Do's and don'ts. And suggestion for sightseeing, do find a small hole-in-the-wall karaoke bar and sing songs with some drunk Japanese locals. I recommend it.
I love Japan.
Do not do what that one TikTok guy was doing and run around and harassing people on the subway. Johnny Somali,
Such a good name.
Run around and blasting people like that because he went to jail.
Yeah. Be respectful. Japan's awesome.
Be respectful.
And it's one of my favorites. It's probably my favorite country that's not the U.S. It's great. So
Tokyo's great.
Have you been to Poland?
Pardon me?
But have you been to Poland?
I've been to Poland one time. I went to Warclaw. We played there.
Tokyo is massive.
Yeah.
It's
You're not prepared.
I think the biggest I've ever been to is Bangkok. I think Bangkok's like, is it like the biggest urban metro?
No, Tokyo was the biggest until very recently. Jakarta just overtook it.
Did it really?
Yeah, like very recently. Yeah.
So I've been to Tokyo
What
a
has
couple
Jakarta
times.
ever produced? Nothing.
Tokyo is awesome. I love Tokyo, man.
Yeah,
I need to go back. I went to Fukushima as well.
the crazy thing with Tokyo, one thing you have to consider, it's very interesting, is there's like no trash cans anywhere. So whenever you like need
Yeah,
to
that's
dispose of
right.
something, you just carry it with you.
You need
for
like a
an
little
hour.
bag.
So yeah, bring like a little bag with you.
Right.
Yeah.
What time is it in Tokyo right now?
It's crunch
It's like
time.
12 or 13 hours.
It's always crunch time.
Yeah,
over
they're
there.
11
they're on-
a.m.
It's morning. Yeah.
So when
people are-
we relocate to Tokyo, then we'll be doing the show at 8 a.m.
We'll have a serious edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Shanghai for 2 years. It's similar size-wise, but I feel like Tokyo is
Oh, how weird.
more compact than Shanghai. Shanghai's a lot of like the downtown is like wider streets, broader avenues.
We would do Timcast IRL first thing in the morning, and then I would record my morning segments
At night.
at night.
Yeah.
If we went to
Let's do it.
Japan.
For like a week. It'd be fun. For Goon Nation.
Goon Nation. Yeah, we got to work that out. We got to work out Goon Nation. Japan's got a weird.
If you go to Osaka, my favorite thing, one of my favorite places I've ever been, and I would say this is actually kind of a religious pilgrimage in a way, is if you go to Osaka, they have the drunken clam from Family Guy. Some guy just got really into Family Guy, and he opened a bar on like the 5th floor of a building called the Drunken Clam, and it's amazing. You go in there, it's just pictures of Peter Griffin just like glued to the wall and stuff. It's beautiful. You should go there. It's wonderful.
All right, we got Picora Rod. He says, I used Call Sheet for the first time since I saw they were a sponsor. It really is crazy how if you put money on things you're knowledgeable about, it feels like printing money. That's what I'm saying, dude. We the Trump Bad Bunny thing actually went up, and I'm going to take credit for that. Will Trump say Bad Bunny this month? You want to pull this up? Actually, the odds increased from the other day. So look at this. There's Timcast IRL. I take full credit for that. The odds improved from, it dropped down in the day to 24, and then it went back up later.
34. Wow.
Yeah.
I still think he says it. I still think he says it.
Bad.
I think I could see because I could see somebody asking him about it. You notice Bad Bunny's been real quiet this week.
Yeah. He deleted his Instagram, too.
Yeah, deleted the Instagram.
very weird.
You know, just no statements, no interviews, no. The buzz, right? The buzz around it is weird.
Yeah.
And you know, people. It's funny enough. I was at and it was pre-scheduled. It wasn't like a thing. I was at the Hispanic Prosperity Gala last night. I had a little dance with James O'Keefe.
You guys are getting
went
down
pretty
with it.
viral. We're getting down. You know, God forbid a couple of white boys have a little motion. You know,
The left hates
and the left hates that. And you know, so Nacho, who is an incredibly famous Venezuelan singer, got up and just crushed it. Amazing. And I was so they were all coming up to me and were getting asked by media. I was getting asked about Bad Bunny and everything. And I was talking to everyone who was there. So I was like, what did you guys think? And I had people coming up to me saying like, from Puerto Rico saying like, don't judge us by him. Like, we're not like that. We actually love America. We love being a part of America. You know,
Well, America gives them, what, like $100 billion a year?
Yeah,
some
I love
ridiculous
it
number?
too. It's with 8-to-1 federal dollars.
well, and look,
You
as
should move there.
as
no income tax, yeah.
No income, and as a Navy officer, right? You know, I look at it from the geostrategic perspective that you know Puerto Rico gives you that access to the Caribbean, gives you those basing rights. You don't have to worry about treaties or anything. Same with Guam and the Philippines.
We could still keep the Virgin Islands though. And then
Yes,
just
same with
Puerto Rico
Guam and
lose.
but you've already got all the infrastructure there. It's larger. It's got a larger base
So
for it.
annoyed. I want to kind of lose.
No, it's like yeah, but they were legitimately saying like he's an embarrassment.
I think Tony Hinchcliffe has been extremely vindicated for his little joke at the Trump rally.
But his joke was always right.
Yeah.
He was commenting on the fact that they have overflowing landfills.
Yeah.
And that's a well-known thing. And they attacked him for it. And then later on, he was like, am I the only one who knows that in the news are talking about their landfill problems? That was the joke.
Yeah, I have a really good friend. He's a normie. He's Puerto Rican. And when he first saw that, like, a comedian at the Trump rally was mocking Puerto Rico, he's like, that's terrible, da-da-da-da-da. And then he watched the joke and he's like, yeah, that's probably true. So Tony Hinchcliffe, total vindication.
Yeah. He was. I mean,
And they use the Puerto Rican peso in Puerto Rico. They don't. I'm kidding.
oh, do they?
No,
It was U.S. dollar.
I was there that night at MSG.
Really?
And I remember when he said the joke. By the way, the whole crowd was like, "Oh no!"
Hey, guys. So yesterday, the volume for Will Trump say Bad Bunny wasn't it 200,000 or something, or was it like 280,000? I don't know. It's gone up to 400,000 since we did the show, and that's all that matters. You see, I haven't wagered anything. My cash is still the same. I am not going to wager on this. My question was just like, oh, is it 32% now? Is this changing in real time? Jack, weren't you saying you were going to ask the president to say the phrase Bad Bunny for no reason?
I did not say that. I certainly did not call him on his personal private cell phone number and ask him. No, I did. I was trying, to see if we could get him to tweet about, to like comment on our show. But of course, which hasn't come up yet. I'm told that I was told that they were going to play it on the plane at one point when he was flying up. I don't know if that ever actually happened.
I'm gonna say this. I genuinely believe Trump will say Bad Bunny.
I think he will too.
It's surprising to me that it's actually only at 33% right now. It did go up quite a bit since we did the show, but I want to stress this. I'm not telling anybody to buy these shares. Do not take this advice. I have no guarantee it's going to happen. But the fact is, Trump hasn't made a major comment on the Turning Point halftime show, which was massive to 50 million people. Trump is going to see that Trump wants to be involved with his base. He wants to shout these things out to show that he's active. I think there's a high likelihood that he does address Turning Point's halftime show. In doing so, he's going to mention Bad Bunny because that was the conflict.
It's just been so much in the news. It's so much, even though it's not a Trump thing, right? It's sort of got the DNA, the fingerprints, if you will, of MAGA, Americanism, globalism, all of these things tied together. Obviously, he's close with Kid Rock, their friends.
Exactly.
So I mean,
what happens if Kid Rock pops over to by the White House and asks him like, "Hey, did you see my show?" and he's hanging out?
Yeah.
Trump's going to say Bad Bunny. That's why I think it's crazy. They're giving it a 33. It's based on what people are wagering on, and people are wagering no, he won't, even though he already truthed about the show.
He did.
So you're saying they're selling dollars for 33 cents?
He didn't say Bad Bunny. He talked about the halftime show. That's why I think it's just crazy how low it is. Originally, it was a lot higher. Before the Super Bowl, it was super at 85, and it's dropped down. That's nuts to me. So I don't know, man. Don't listen to me. Don't buy any of this stuff. Don't wager on stuff because I don't know what's going to happen. I just think these odds are weird. Anyway, let's grab some more of these rants. See what we got going on. NNY says, Tate, stop slacking and get back on for daily at noon. I told Serge I can't answer his questions until you tell me what to think.
Dude, Serge, I will tell you what to think if you tune in at noon.
real.
Today, it was great. We had Lisa on. Lisa was the guest.
There you go.
We talked about the women. The women are out of control.
They are.
I don't know what's going on.
Lisa is like the spiciest person at Timcast.
She really is.
We have to keep telling her to stop saying to kill people.
She's great.
Yeah, like no, I was like, Lisa, we can't kill every woman. That's not.
You can't say that on the show.
It's not going to play in Peoria. I had some rumble, so you can say whatever you want, I guess. But it's a good pitch. Tune in noon live for Lisa's proposals and what to do with the WQ, the woman question. It's very interesting. Some of her thoughts. Shout out Lisa. We love Lisa.
Dedosa Prime says, Phil, what is the AI agent? I want to do a fake news show like IRL with characters, mythical creatures from my characters in books and TTRPG Modern Mythical. DM me at Dedosa Prime on X.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a molt bot.
Is he calling us creatures?
Yeah, they're basically mini LLMs you run on your own computers. And you can tell like, hey, I'm having I need food reservations for a nice restaurant. Find me a good place to eat. I got to go to work, but tell me when you find it. And then you'll come back home and it'll be like, I got your reservations at the steakhouse at this time.
Yep.
Crazy.
If they can honestly, if they can get that right for like hotels, flights, that kind of thing,
yep,
it'd be amazing.
They will. We're there.
The cost of keeping an account with, I think it's ChatGPT or whoever it is, the cost of having an account is like $200 a month. Yeah. And the people that use these generally use them for their work, and they're like, it makes me so efficient that it's
for itself.
Totally worth it.
All right, let's make one. It's basically Anthropic.
Yep.
Or OpenAI using their keys. Wow, dude.
Yeah. I'm looking at a Mac Mini that I can run. Getting a Mac Mini just for.
Hey, why don't we get one here?
You want to get one here?
I mean, we got servers and stuff. Why don't we get a little guy?
Like $500.
Let's do it. We're
getting a little guy.
We're gonna get a molt bot. We'll have our own internal Timcast HAL, And then we're going to go in and he's going to gas us. Phil's going to be like, the door's locked. And it's going to be like, I'm sorry, Phil. I can't let you do that.
It'll call, like, you can set it up so it can call you.
Bill,
like
you already used it that
Yo,
way.
look at the odds on him saying Bad Bunny just going up because we're talking about it.
in there. It's free money, man. It's free money.
It's at 35% already. I'm telling you guys not to buy it. I'm not telling you to do anything. Just don't listen to me. I'm not saying he will or won't.
If you're going to buy it, just turn the stream off. Just turn it off.
But I do think it's interesting, too, because I will just say this. It's funny that we're addressing it in the fact that Jack is literally saying he hopes, Trump comments on the TPUSA halftime show.
It's something that, I think that he would do.
Yeah.
And, I put it this way, when he sees something put on big numbers like that, and it's associated with, quote unquote, people he views as like his guys, his side.
Mm-hmm. Not only that,
the type of thing he talks about all the time.
Hold on, guys.
I did very well with Hispanics, by the way.
But we're talking also about a year from now, Trump has an opportunity. Does he want to be involved in something that got such massive play? He didn't go to the Super Bowl.
He did not.
And presidents, what was it? They usually don't, right? But he went last year. Is that what it was?
I believe he did, yeah.
Well, because this year's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Here's the opportunity for him to go somewhere to massive fanfare and celebration and cheers to 50 million viewers.
Where is it next year?
Not sure. Oh, it just went down. It went down.
Super.
Oh.
As soon as I said don't do it, people were like, I'm out. Guys, don't listen to me. I'm not giving you financial advice. I can't tell you what'll happen.
No, this is entertainment advice.
This is it. And pure entertainment. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Someone says ICE in Little Mogadishu, new game.
2027, it's in Inglewood, California.
Disgruntled Vet says Tom McDonald should have been at your halftime to do his Charlie Kirk song at minimum. That would have been an easy win. I think maybe you guys said Tom McDonald next year,
Yeah, again, with a lot of this stuff, there are so many people that I wish could have been there, right? Tom would certainly be one of them. And a lot of this stuff, again, it just comes down to scheduling. It comes down to, in some cases, contracts, licenses. I know that's kind of sounds like, Post going corporate. It's like, no, but literally, and Phil, you get this. There are times where even the art, I'm not saying that this would happen with Tom. I'm just saying that there are times where an artist wants to do something and just can't.
Yep, absolutely. That's a very, very normal thing. Like, I'd love to go and play the show, but we just can't. There's a couple shows that we got offered in the fall that we were like, they were like, you want to do these? And I was like, we just can't, just because of scheduling stuff that we got planned.
Well, even with venues, right? So to do something like this, like, it's not just the day of. You need to put on something like this, or certainly if we did a festival, you need a week. And so you have to find a big venue that has a week open, which typically those places get booked a year in advance. Yep. Charlie used to do this all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, let's do this thing over here," and we have to be like, "Charlie, you can't just up and do that.
You're not making reservations at the
it's not like a hotel reservation. Yeah,
right. So.
All right, we got this from Austin Shearer. He says, fellas, using my first ever Super Chat to announce the wife and I just came home with our first baby angel yesterday, little Liliana.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the world, little patriot. A lot of work to do.
Name.
You missed the halftime show. You're late.
Oh, wait.
Gosh.
But eligible for Trump account.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's a massively important thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an IRA for kids, basically.
Yeah.
But you get it when you sign up, you get $1,000 just deposited like that.
Yep.
Wow.
Literally for free.
And one of the good things, or one of the best things about it, in my opinion, is it will give young people that are, 18, 19, 20, whatever, it'll give them some kind of buy-in to the capitalist system.
Yep.
Right now, there's young people that don't have anything, and they're like, well, why do I care about capitalism? Why do I care about property rights? I don't own anything. Well, if you're 18 years old and you got 50 grand or 100 grand or whatever it ends up turning into, then you're going to care about capital because you actually have a stake in it. It's like if you can get a whole generation of young people that have some kind of buy-in, that's going to be a very good thing for the United States of America.
Bro, the Bad Bunny odds have jumped from what was it at when we started? It was 20 something. It was 28.
There you
It's
go.
at 38. It went up 10% since we've done this show.
No.
The real point I wanted to convey is the absurdity of affecting prediction odds. Like, I talked about this yesterday. If a boxing match is going to happen, I can't do anything about that. I can say, I hope, Jake Paul wins or whatever. It's weird that I could be like, Jack Posobiec came on my show and mentioned he was hoping Trump would comment on his show, and all some people are like, buying on these.
I'm buying that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's weird. Odds are going down. So you can see like the $500 wager, you can see the amount of you win is going down because more people are believing he's going to say it. All right, here we go. Joshua P. Flowers says, my friend in the area says the cartel does that all the time, but this is the first time they issued a no-fly zone. Something is different or something is seriously wrong. The drones. That's what I was saying on my 4 p.m. show, that they wouldn't do something so dramatic unless it was very serious. If it was a false flag, they would have made it sound more serious. So it sounds to me like something very major happened and they don't want word to get out as to what the cartels did.
Or could it be, and this just flip side, it's the same type of drones that happen, but we were, and I don't have any sourcing on this, it's just me speculating. What if we were testing a weapon system or something, like an anti-drone system? And
apparently they were.
And we didn't want any planes to be, in the vicinity just in case something went wrong.
So one theory, and we were told this is not true, is that the DOD wanted to test DOW wanted to test a high-powered directed energy weapon on Mexican cartel drones. Whoa. And the FAA was like, are you nuts?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got planes.
Yeah, we got it.
So it was the FAA that did the NOTAM, I believe. And it was apparently an FU to the DOW being like, guys, you cannot launch laser beams near our airports. I'm told this is not correct, though. Then they put out a report saying that the DOW shot a balloon with a laser. That's all. I'm told none of this is correct. I'm told the cartel story is what happened, and the most recent reporting still says it was cartel drones. And guys, honestly, we know the cartel's been launching these drones. The New York Times reported this for months. They've been flying thousands. It was like 20,000 drone flights or something. Yep. Some insane amount. So I think it's just more serious, and they don't want to let on exactly how serious it was.
It's actually just Greg Bovino. They sent him down there with a laser gun and he's popping him off.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got going on.
Love that
here.
guy. Love Bovino. Patriot Bovino.
Scribbly Bear says,
exactly
I tried turning Tate's use of the phrase fellow patriots into a drinking game. I ended up blowing out my liver because he overuses the phrase to the point where it sounds like he's virtue signaling.
I do not overuse it, but yes, I am virtue signaling.
Bro, the
Virtue
Bad Bunny
signaling's
thing's
base.
the 40% now.
Virtue signaling's awesome. I signal my virtues every day at 12 p.m.
What if I said right now, I'm going to ask Jack to tell the president not to say Bad Bunny?
Mr. President, please do not say it.
I'm going to say it.
Dude, I think the whole prediction market stuff is just so crazy.
Do not come.
Do not come.
Did you see this one, Jack? Will the U.S. confirm that aliens exist before 2027? 14% chance. 1.8 million. Okay, the answer is no. If you put $10,000 in,
There's a correct answer to this question.
you will get back 1,000. You're getting a 13% margin. 13% interest rate, effectively. So my attitude is like, why should I put my money in the bank when I can put it in shares of no, the U.S. will not confirm the existence of aliens and get back a higher percentage?
Yeah, can't you just bet on like civilization-ending instances and just make? Because it's like if this were a yes,
who
then,
needs money?
Yeah, who needs money?
And yeah, like if this is, it's so funny because we actually just watched the original War of the Worlds the other day. Showed it to my kids.
Like, I
loved it.
I don't think I'd be if there was aliens coming to Earth. I don't think I'd be like, "Where's my $10,000?"
I wonder what my wife would say if I was like, honey, I just put $400,000 into a great investment. It's no. The U.S. will not confirm the existence of aliens shares, and at the end of the year, we get back $38,000.
Yeah,
She's going to be like,
Going to be great.
she's going to be like, very smart. It's an excellent investment. Thank you.
thank you.
I have to be honest. I actually don't think, based on the stocks that I have, I'm pretty sure my stocks will beat this.
We'll beat that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting
So, like, I've got some tech stocks, and I've got like Tesla, and I've got some graphene stuff, and they performed very, very well. And I think I'm going to beat. This is 9% though, 31,000. If you did 300, you'll get back an 11% return.
God.
This is the weirdest thing imaginable to me. It's like, guys, I'm not telling you what to do. It's not a financial advice. I'm just pointing out there is a 0% chance the U.S. will confirm the existence of aliens.
Yep.
0.
Now,
0.
so if you buy, this is just totally me not knowing anything. If you buy no, can you sell that before?
Yes. Yep.
So then, as soon as you make a few bucks, you just sell.
That's the thing about prediction markets. You can buy a share, and then if it increases, the no increases to 95%, you now sell at a profit before it even concludes. Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's what? There's a 0% chance.
Dude,
Not happening.
me trying
Anyway, guys, we're going to go to the uncensored portion of the show, so smash the like button, share the show. Stay tuned. It's going to be at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. Sign up. Come hang out. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Jack, do you want to shout anything out?
Look, I just say, because I haven't really said this, incredible success of the show. That's thanks to the people of this audience, the people on YouTube, the Patriots out there. But ultimately, this is God's grace. And we're all incredibly humbled by it. This wasn't, it's just a stupid tweet by me. And then coming on when you were out in Phoenix and we all chatted about it, a couple of months ago, and it just took on a life of its own. And that's how I know that's not me that's doing that. That's God. And so, go to church, get married, have babies, like Charlie would say, check out Turning Point. And if you think this was good, after just a couple of months of planning, wait till you see what we can do with 12 months.
Dude, I'm fired the frick up right now. Follow me on X and Instagram at RealTateBrown. Come hang out tomorrow. I'll signal my virtues to everybody at noon. I have good virtues, so I'm happy to signal them. So come hang out in Rumble, Timcast on Rumble tomorrow noon. See you there.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. We're going on tour this spring with Born of Osiris and Dead Eyes. We're starting in Albany on the 29th of April. So go to allthatremainsonline.com. You can get your tickets. You can get your VIP packages. I think there's still some left for those. You can check out All That Remains, the band, on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for crime.
We will see you all at rumble.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out.